What's up, tricksters and tricksetters, and welcome to another Tier 3 VOD review presented by your favorite Radiant coach, Charlatano Papito. Today, your papushka is on a Windows 11. We had a bit of a problems, on my previous PCs, so that's why we were lagging in terms of the content a bit, but, we're gonna get back, we're gonna get there. Don't you worry, little child. Now, today at our coaching table, we have Immortal 1. Yoru playing on Sunset. His name is David. Let's see what David presented for us today. So, trigger warning, bad game, tilted, horrible aim. Very good. Love it. Love to hear it. That means that we can improve a lot. Hello, Mr. Trickster. Don't flame me too hard for this game. Listen, guys. When I'm doing VOD reviews, if I ever say something bad, it's more like a light-hearted joke, Like, we're here to learn, improve, get fucking better, So, I'm not judging you. The chat should definitely not be judging these players because you're even worse, let's be honest. So, we chill, relax, learn something new, implement the tips, rules, tricks, trainings, and voila! Radiante. Radiante. Recently, I've been trying to expand my agent pool due to being a Reyna main, which is really bad. I mean, if you're only maining Reyna and your aim is not like on a high Radiant levels, going from Immortal 3 to Radiant is gonna be really hard. And not a, only 1% of, 0.1% of Valorant players can aim like pro players. Like, top of the top. But thankfully, in Valorant we have outplays, we have utility usage, better positioning, smarter gameplay, so, we can still get Radiant. Until they nerf every fucking thing in this game. Now, I realized that there isn't a lot of outplaying potential with that agent. Sherlock Holmes, thank you. I played multiple characters, Charizards, but nothing seems to stick. On this game, I decided to play Yoru. I play him here and there, and I thought that I was decent with him. I think I'm decent with most characters. Regardless, we got absolutely dogged because of the first half, 3-9, and come back to win 13-10. Listen, Yoru is a very good agent. Like, especially in Immortal and Radiant, he is an agent worth maining and a good pick. Basically, there's a lot of outplay potential, a lot of good utility usage. The only problem with Yoru is, no matter for what type of a play you're going, you never know if that play is actually completely safe. Basically, with Omen, Jet, Raze, and some other characters that are S tier, and better than Yoru, basically, there's a lot of consistency in your utility usage, outplays, shit like that. There's a very small margin of error. With Yoru, that margin is, twice the size of Raze, Yoru, and Omen. So, still a good character, very good agent, especially on the big maps such as, Abyss, Breeze, even on a map such as Bind, he's really good. On almost every map except maybe Ascent and stuff like that. So yeah, why not? You main Reyna, a flash character, Yoru has a flash, we have teleports to reposition now, we have the fake out to outsmart the enemies, and a better ultimate than the Reyna's ultimate. So yeah. We'll see if Yoru actually suits you and if there's any better picks that you can actually main. I was playing with my duo and he was playing Neon since no one else locked Duelist. Totally fine, why not? I was playing with my duo, okay, sorry. I got cooked on defense and don't really know why. We'll check it. Gordon Ramsay. I'm 100% sure I have better aim than most of Immortals, but I cannot put it to good use or get any value of it. That's a mistake. Basically, if you want to carry the games only based on your mechanical skill, you already need to have a mechanical skill on a level of players that are the whole division, the whole rank above you. That's how you can tell that someone has a, big skill ceiling in terms of mechanical skill, and that someone can just carry the games based on his mechanics. Basically, if you're Immortal, and you're not able to kill a Radiant player 60% of times, Okay, 50% of times. You cannot carry in Immortal with just by your raw mechanics. It's impossible. So, like, that's why, like, 99.9% of players, you know, it's just stupid, like, for your grind to play, like, agents such as Reyna, ISO, some shit like that, when it is much easier getting Radiant in the way that I do it. I just, you know, outplay smart gameplay, like, following a certain set of rules, reflect potential, you know, that's it. Like, you don't need mechanical skill. Like, my aim is consistently, in the last 3 years, below Radiant. Like, I can probably kill a true Radiant player maybe 40% of times. Maybe 50 on a good days. In a clean duel. You know, 1 versus 1. But, thankfully, this is not a clean game. You know, like, we have a Judge, we have Operator, we have Outlaw, we have Odin, we have, like, Teleport, Smokes, shit like that. And that's why I still play this game. Otherwise, I would just play Counter-Strike. Now, let's see the tracker of our British mate, Evil B. So, he reached Immortal 1 last act, and that is his peak. Okay. Performance-wise, let me check it. Actually, pretty effing good. This is really nice. This is a tracker of a player that has a huge potential in Valorant. Like, getting Immortal in less than 400 hours is above average. Like, that is like top, you know, top 1% of players in this game. So, like, this is really good. Like, basically, if you invest more time into the game, I think that you can easily be a high Immortal 3 player. I don't really know, you know, if you're gonna, like, you know, like, if you can reach Radiant, because you didn't play that many hours in Immortal, and, you know, but based on these stats, I think without any VOD reviews, without any training, you can easily get Immortal 3. Now, I don't know if you're a Radiant type of player. We'll see in the VOD review today. So, like, and, you know, generally speaking, like, I always recommend to players, like, if you want to buy coaching, it is better to buy coaching like a prevention method than when you get hard stuck. Like, you know, the worst thing that I hate is coaching the players that are stuck in the same rank for, like, 2,000 hours. Because they develop so many bad habits, like, so many shits that I need to correct, and all of that takes months and months and months of stupid practice. This is very nice. Very nice. Very consistent progress as well. Like, I would just recommend you, you know, like, if you want to get Radiant in Valorant, you know, you really need to boost up your playtime. Like, the bare minimum for getting Immortal 3 and staying in Immortal 3 is 3 ranked games per day. And the bare minimum for getting Radiant on a fresh new account is 5 matches per day. So, like, you know, I mean, if you want to speed up your process and actually, you know, try hard, even with this playtime, you can probably get Radiant in, like, half a year, you know, 6 to 12 months, something like that. The Valorant is that type of a game, you know. It became really grindy, you know. There's MMR, rank rating. As you win more games, you get less rank rating points. And if you want to get Radiante, you need to play the shit out of this game. But okay, very promising tracker. Like, I like what I see here. I really like to see what I see here. Overall, all of your stats, let me check something. Yeah, all of your stats are optimal for an Immortal 1 player. Like, basically, with these stats, you should be able to carry the lobbies easily, all the way up to high elo lobbies, you know, like 300, 400 rank rating, if you keep these type of stats. Like, the only stat that is fucked up for you is KST, and that might be the reason why you lose some of the rounds and some of the matches. KST tells us basically like how good of a team player you are. You know, like how well do you play around your teammates? How many stupid gunfights you pick? What type of gunfights you pick? Like this number really needs to be at 75% at all, every single time. Like in every single rank, this should be 75%. Timings, gunfights, there's some problem in your gameplay. Like basically this KST combined with these stats just tells us that you're dying, you're losing at least 2 or 3 rounds for no reason. Because you make some kind of a bullshit play. Like either take a fight that you don't need to take, you could have taken a better fight, you could have fought with your teammates, you could have waited your teammates, something. I don't know. We're gonna check it in your gameplay, of course. Everything else is pretty solid, to be honest. Like I really have zero complaints. Like this is a really good tracker, like really good tracker. Clutch percentage is suboptimal, you know, it's bad, basically. Like there's something fundamentally wrong that you're doing in your 1v1 and 1v2 scenarios. How you play these scenarios is very important, because how many clutches you make can decide the outcome of a lot of games that you play. Like, you know, one of my main skill sets in Valorant, you know, why am I still able to reach Radiant even after so many years, and I mean, I'm getting washed a bit here, like, is because of that. You know, I'm still able to clutch, like, enormous amount of rounds in these 1v1 and 1v2 scenarios, and in these scenarios, like, brain is very important, you know, like how fast you play them, how slow you play them, how you position yourself, like everything is important in these scenarios. Now, everything else is okie dokie, you know, not that shabby, Scooby-Dooby. Amount of last deaths is also a bit of a problem, like having, you know, 110 deaths in 53 matches, last deaths, is kinda bad for this elo. Like, you need to value your life a bit more. Like, this is definitely a bit bad. Like, the problem is, in this rank, you know, in this elo, all the way up to Immortal 3, the ratio between the games that you play and the amount of last deaths should be 1 to 4. So for every single match of Valorant that you play, you should be last alive 4 times during that specific game. I don't say that you should bait the shit out of your teammates, but in specific rounds when you have numbers advantage, when you complete your tasks, you don't need to take any more fights alone. Bait your teammates a bit more, trade them, close out the round yourself, and that's it. And remember, number 1 tip of Valorant, number 1 tip of grinding ranked in Valorant, you don't trust anyone but yourself. And you always pre-assume that your teammates are gonna go for a stupid play, and that they're never gonna do the optimal plays until they prove you wrong, and until they actually show you that, you know, you're actually playing with the 10s and not with the 11s. Now, everything else is very good this act, like, I mean, good grind. What is this? Was ist das? Ja?
Jawohl. Ich liebe keine dich. Ich liebe deine Arsch.
Brother, your stats on the attacker side are abomination. How do you even win the matches? Defense. Bro, your attacker side is shit. Like, I've never seen such a disparity between attack and defense. Like, we need to do something better on the attacker side. Like, if I was you, for the next 3 months, I will only work on my attacker side on every single map. Changing my mindset, pathing, utility usage, team play, something. Like, something is so wrong on your attack. 68% KST, 48... Like, what is this, bro? Like, to be honest, like, I should not do the whole VOD review for you, man. Like, basically, I should just do 3 attacker side VOD reviews for you. Like, this is so bad. Is every act like this? Let me check something. Where's defense, bro? Like, am I blind? Charlatan? What the fuck is going on here? Sorry, guys. Here is the attack. 70%. 50. 70%. Yeah, you perform much better on the defender side. Like, your attack is horrendous, bro. Like, there can be a lot of the problems. You know, why that is bad for you. Timings, executes, how you take the gunfights, how you play the map on a macro and micro level. Like, when the attack is bad, the problems can be vast. When defense is bad, like, usually through the stats you can tell, like, you know, your positioning can get better, your team play get better. Here, this is horrible. And one thing that is really horrible for you on attacker side is you're dying alone a lot. You have a bad timings to execute the site, to take the fight. You need to fight more with your teammates, man. And you need to pay attention more on the minimap and what your allies are. This is horrible. 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 Now, when it comes to the agents, you need to experiment. I really don't know what to recommend you. Because you mained Reyna and, you know, like, you came up here with the Reyna. Like, the top 4 picks that I can recommend anyone in Valorant is Omen, Jett, Raze, and Gecko. And Clove, maybe. A bit. Considering that you think that your aim is, like, a bit better than anything else, I would personally go for Raze, Jett, Clove, and Gecko. I don't know if, you know, Omen takes a lot of time to learn him. Like, he would be beneficial for you to learn because he really expands you as a player and like, you develop every single skill set, all of the skill sets that you are missing. But, to be fair, like, you can just run it down, like, with Claw, Jett, Raze, and Gecko. They're a bit easier to learn. You know, like, you need to invest less time. Because time is a huge factor here. Like, you don't play, like, that much of Valorant. You know? Like, that's why maybe picking Omen is just... You know, if you want to main Omen, you need to spend 500 hours with that agent. And then after 500 hours, once you truly master that character, every other agent is like, what? I'm playing Gecko now? Okay, fuck it. Like, one match of Gecko, you already master his utility usage. One game of Yoru, you already know what to do. Like, but you don't have that much time, you know? Clove, Gecko, Yoru, you know, like, Jett, Raze, Chamber. Maybe try Chamber a bit, you know, like, on Icebox, Abyss, and Breeze. On these long-range maps. So yeah, those will be my top picks for you, like, considering what you explained and, like, what I saw thus far. When it comes to the maps, Sunset is actually his best map. Icebox, Haven, Lotus. Okay, I mean, on all of the maps you perform kinda equally. The only problems are Bind and Abyss. Like, on Bind, I would definitely recommend you to try, like, Raze, Jett. Raze and Jett. You know, telling Rain on Bind is just stupid, bro. Like, who the fuck plays Rain on Bind? Like, just brother. Like, pick Raze, pick Jett, carry those idiots. And on Abyss, like, I would just recommend you, like, Yoru or Jett. Yoru is really good on Abyss because of fast rotations. Like, it's a huge map. There's a lot of outplays. And on that map, you should be trying Yoru and trying to, you know, outplay the enemies. Anyways, in my rank playbook, on my Discord server soon, I'm gonna do the Yoru Abyss playbook. And, like, you will just, you will, like, you know, you can just check the playbook and try to copy-paste some of these solutions. Now, let's look at the most important thing. Yeah, as per usual. As per usual. Listen, man, in eco rounds, you need to do something better. Like, I don't know what, but you need to do something better. Your main weapon in eco rounds cannot only be like Sheriff, for an example, or Classic Pistol, or Ghost. Buy that Shorty. Buy that Bucky. You know, shove that shotgun up there, up the enemy's arse, and learn how to trade yourself for the kills. Like, maybe you're doing something fundamentally wrong in terms of how you play the eco rounds. Maybe you value your life too much. Maybe you play default too much. Maybe you can play, you know, a bit more aggressive or outside of the box. Like, but eco rounds need to get better for you. And also, the pistol rounds are kind of like, you know, on the verge of being bad. Like, pistol and eco rounds, you need to do something better there. In terms of strategies, executes, how we play them, like, anything. Like, there can be so many problems. We'll see in the VOD review, obviously. And, of course, weapon versatility, 3 out of 10 points. Like, listen, man. Shorty, primary, secondary weapon. You have money to buy a Shorty and you're using some automatic weapon, buy the Shorty. Learn how to abuse the Shorty, period. Stinger needs to go higher. Like, one of the main hull by weapons, anti-eco weapons, shit like that. Outlaw, minimum top 5. Minimum top 5. Enemies are eco, hull by, they don't have money for the heavy shields. We force the outlaw, we kill them on the defender side. Then like Odin as well. You know, and Ares. Paper maps. Ascent, Haven, Lotus. We kill the enemies without even seeing them. Without even seeing them. Judge doesn't need to be that high, like, but on a map such as Bind, for an example, it's a really, you know, shame not using the Judge. And also, I mean, you're playing fucking Yoru. How are these weapons not a bit higher? Like, what do you do with your ultimate? Like, playing the ult with a Vandal? Phantom? Like, what? Bulldog should also go a bit higher. I mean, like, Bulldog is very good weapon on like Icebox and Abyss. Like, very good hull by weapon and anti-eco weapon. Overall, like, you know, you need to expand yourself a bit more. Like, I mean, if you, the whole point of Valorant is like, you want to take the easiest kills possible, and you want to win the rounds and matches in the easiest way possible. The more you complicate stuff, the less success you're gonna find, or the progress is gonna be slower. Why complicate when we can, like, that's the main reason why I don't like some Valorant coaches. Like, oh, you know, like, if one enemy is here and your teammates have like, your Sova has the ultimate, your Breach has this, like, we should tell this guy to use the recon dart on the split, and then Breach should use the ultimate for the B push on Bind, then we use the teleporter, and then, like, on 20 seconds of clock we put the oven on 180 degrees. Don't forget the oven when you're pushing into the bomb site. Chill, man. Relax. It's a fucking video game. Like, we follow simple rules. Yes, we have like around 100 rules that we follow, but every single rule is very fucking simple. At least the rules that I'm sharing with you. Like, one of the most complicated things that you can do in Valorant is actually just relying on your mechanical skill to win the matches. Like, that is the most complicated shit that you can do. And that will always give you lower chances of winning your games than actually, like, then you know, doing what I'm teaching you to do. Sorry, somebody came in my home, like, is that you? Maybe, you know, somebody broke in. Like, rest in peace, Charlatan. Okay. Overall, really solid tracker. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, definitely. And I cannot wait to see what he presented in the VOD review. Let's check it. Okay, now let's start with the defender side of Sunset. Let's do a quick TLDR. So how do we play Sunset on a defender side in ranked solo queue? Your number one priority and default bomb site is B site. Number 2 priority, A site. This map is a fast rotation map, and essentially you don't give a fuck about the map control. Like, you're never willing to die alone trying to defend the B site and A site without any escape route. Like, your goal is to abuse as many like 70-30, 90-10 gunfights, essentially the fights where you don't need to commit to them, try to potentially get a kill, and prioritize team play over the map control. Now, next topic. On this map, you value the control of market and top mid over the control of the actual bomb sites. Like, if enemies are top mid or going through market, try to stop their push there. Fuck the beam and fuck the site. Once they take the market and top mid control, rounds become 10 times harder, and your teammates can make 10 times more mistakes. And in the first 4 rounds, you should always play super passively. We don't need to aggress the enemies in B main, mid, or A main area of the map. Only from the first full buy round, where both you and the enemies are full buy, like 4th or 3rd round, you need to ask yourself, like, is the passive playstyle actually working for you? Like, how do you know that? Like, if you're just stopping the enemy's pushes, you know, if enemies have shit executes, okay, we can continue playing passively as long as that works, and that's it. If that's not working for you, then we need to fight for A main control, B main control, or mid control, depending where the enemies are fucking you up, like where they're actually entering the bomb sets and destroying us. Now, for the first 2 rounds, you always play on the B set and market, and then after the second round, you position yourself based on the enemy's pattern of pushing and based on like how good or how bad are your allies. Now, next topic is also that if you're not fighting aggressively for the mid control, like we're not fighting the enemies there, we don't play, you know, you're not playing operator in the market and holding the enemies, for an example, always close the market doors and just, you know, focus on defending the B main area of the map or top mid. Most of the times when you have no idea where the enemies are gonna go, you want to start around the market or around the top mid and just play fast rotations towards the bomb sites. With Yoru, you don't need to know a lot of the lineups. You know, the only things that you need to know is how to send your teleport towards the CT, you know, from market to A site, from B main to A site, and how to send your teleport from A site to CT spawn right here when you're playing in the elbow. I mean, you can also send it from A short to top mid, and that's it. Learning these, like, you know, teleports that go into the enemy spawn and that type of shit is okay. Maybe you can try to find a few lineups that go from like B main to enemy spawn, from A main to enemy spawn, but most of the times that's not worth doing, especially not in high elo lobbies. It's better if you have those fast rotation teleports to support your teammates if they're having a hard time defending a site. In the first round with Yoru, basically you have like 2 buy options. You can buy the Ghost with a flash, or you can buy a classic pistol, light shield, fake out, and the flash. Start your round by throwing a TP towards the A site, and for the first round I always try to throw the teleport that goes into A short, so that I'm able to support my teammates ASAP if they're actually having a problem defending the A site. And close the market doors and just focus on defending the B main area of the map. Also, what you can do, you can tell one of your teammates to close the market doors, and we just start from the B main. You know, tell your Cypher or whoever the fuck you have in the team, hey man, can you close the market doors? Just make sure that, you know, that you send, you need to start sending this teleport 1 second before the round starts. If you're a bit too late, then, like, you know, what's gonna happen is like your TP is gonna get destroyed by the doors, or is gonna get stuck at the doors. And we don't want to do any of this shit, essentially. And basically, like, it's simple as that. When it comes to this teleport here, like, unfortunately, I kind of forgot the lineup. Like, you're standing close to the barrier here, and as far as I remember, you aim at the top of M, right there. And that teleport should end up into the CT spawn of the A site. Actually, that one goes to A short. Sorry. So if you narrow it like this, I didn't play Yoru on Sunset for a long time. I need the barrier. We need a barrier for this. Those are the only things that you need to know. Like literally, like just sending a TP from here to Ali and TP from here to like A short, and nothing else matters essentially. Metallica. Yeah, as I said, you can learn like thousands of these lineups and shit, but it's really not that important. Like here, if you aim at the top of the M there with this barrier, that should end up like. Aha. We need to close the barriers now. Stupido. Aha, that ends in the spawn. Play with it. Play with it, like, if I reach Radiant with Yoru, like, without the lineups, you can do it as well. Think about it. Now, listen. If you're starting in the B main area of the map, the play that you want to do is getting behind the box and just going for the pop flash and trying to kill the enemies. If enemies have the Cypher, destroy the cam before the round starts, like pre-fire it here or here, and just play with the pop flash, actually pixel flash, in this angle. When the enemies are pushing the B main, do the fast pixel flash like this, take one kill, get the fuck out. And that's it. If you're starting in the market, close the market doors, send the teleport towards the A site, and just defend the B site a bit more passively. Personally, what I like to do the most is I buy the classic light shield, flash and fake out. I close the market doors, send the fast rotational teleport towards the A short, and I'm just sitting in this smoke. I use the fake out here, wait for the enemies to smoke me. When the enemies smoke me and they're pushing the B site, I do the flash first, then the fake out. They're gonna think the fake out is you, they're gonna shoot it, you get 1 or 2 kills, you go towards the CT to support your teammates at the backside. And that's it. Essentially, nothing else matters. If enemies are pushing A, use the fast teleport towards A side, support your allies, simple as that. With Yoru, you know, one problem with Yoru is that your adaptiveness is very important. Like, feeling for timings is very important. And, you know, you need to experiment a lot. A lot. Now let's see what our friend is gonna do. First of all, I would never start on the A side in the first round. There's no reason to do that. Like, literally... Especially now when the B set is gonna be changed, like playing retakes on B side is gonna be hell of a time. Like, retakes of B are gonna be so fucking hard with the new changes on Sunset. So, first round, start around the market, close the doors, and just play a fast rotation towards C. Now listen, when you're defending the A set of Sunset, always prioritize defending the elbow over the A short area of the map. Basically, let your teammates defend the A short, but keeping the elbow control is mega important when you're defending the A set of Sunset. And also, one of the best positions from which you can fight enemies on both A short and in the elbow is basically this position right here. Because we can hide ourselves from the elbow, take this fight. We can hide ourselves from the A short, take this fight. Also from the elbow, we can do a backwards flash, take an easy kill. Another backwards flash, take an easy kill. Maybe you can try to also do some pixel flash, but it's a bit harder from this angle, like, you know, you really need to curve it enough fucked up way, like, to do that. Now, that's something that you need to do. And most of the times, you know, when you're defending the A site, if you have a good controller and they give you a one-way smoke here, who the fuck is gonna push you there? You know, enemies need to be mega crazy to push through that smoke. Most of the players won't have the confidence to go for that type of a play. You know, Cypher doing a cage or Jet using a smoke and then going in. Like, very rarely players have the confidence, especially in the first round, to go for that type of play. Like, focus more on elbow control. This is mega fucking wasted. I understand why he did this. He wants to make the pressure so that Neon has easier time flanking and behind the enemies. But the huge problem here is, like, on the minimap, we have zero elbow control. Enemies can already be all the way here. We don't have that info. Our Gecko is gonna be smoked, like, in the CT. Our Claw is watching A short with us. We're gonna die. And sending this clone would have been good once this one way actually disappears. I mean, who the fuck is gonna believe that that's you pushing the A short, especially in this direction? I mean, if you already wanted to do some kind of a fake out here, at least curve it like this, like, so it's more believable. I don't know, like, but this is just a waste of a fake out, and we are, like, map awareness, like, I don't know what's happening. Like, that's really bad. Really bad. God help us. No, fuck. Like, this level of awareness, like, for an Immortal 1 player is basically unacceptable. Like, literally unacceptable. Like, can I just ask you one thing? While you're looking at the smoke, one-way smoke, what are you observing? Enemies are there's 95% of chance, 99, that the enemies are not gonna peek behind that smoke. Like, where are your eyes set if not at the minimap? It's crazy. Literally crazy. Like, if the smoke is in front of me, or I'm in the smoke, your eyes are always on the minimap. It's a very close range fight. You're gonna see the pixels of the enemies really fast. Just with your peripheral vision, you can just see the enemies and kill them. But here, like, not in looking at the minimap while you have the one-way smoke in front of you. And you probably looked at the minimap. Like, I mean, you had to look at the minimap to do that fake out to support your Neon. But why are them playing overexposed from the elbow? And here, when you got caught off guard, you should have instantly jumped and teleport away. Because you're not ready for this fight, mentally and physically. You just used a flash, you don't even have a pistol in your hands. In these type of scenarios, when you're playing Yoru, your instant reaction should be to try to escape this type of a fight. Like, just get the fuck out, reset yourself. Maybe your teammates can get a kill while you're distracting the enemies in the air or something, I don't know. But here, trying to escape this by your feet, or God forbid, like, taking this fight, impossible. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, this guy is looking at you, he's spamming you, you're dead. You know, like, with Yoru, when you have a TP and you take some fucked up fight, or you're not ready for a fight, you get flashed, stunned, like, jump, teleport, get out. With Omen, use some random shrouded steps. Not random, but try to escape with the shrouded steps and try to reposition yourself. With Jet, smoke yourself off. Like, every agent has some kind of a... Not every, but a lot of these characters have some kind of a mechanic that you should use when you end up in a fucked up scenario like this. But this was just a crazy first round. Like, crazy bad. Crazy bad. Like, I mean... guarding A short while the full elbow is exposed, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, in ranked solo queue, when you're defending the A side, always prioritize the elbow control over the A short control. Always. Like, It's easier for you to get the kills there. It's easier to fuck up the enemies with your utility. It's much more important to guard because anyways, like, when the enemies are going here, they need to observe, like, you know, the peek through this smoke, the peek from the elbow, the peek from the backside, the peek here. Like, your teammates can easily stop their push there. Most of the mistakes your teammates in ranked are gonna make in the elbow. They're either not gonna have confidence to fight for the elbow, or they're just gonna die because they did some kind of a stupid shit peek, you know? Now, in a second round, we always start in the market again, as I said. And in a second round, if you lost the first round, buy the shorty with a classic and one flash. Close the market doors. If enemies are coming through doors, try to kill them. If enemies are not coming through doors, play here. And when the enemies are moving into the B site, pop flash them, kill one enemy, and try to escape with a teleport. And that's it. And once again, in this second round, same as in the first round, I would send a fast rotation teleport towards the A short area of the map. If you win the first round, then in a second round buy the outlaw with a light shield or heavy shield. Rest of the money goes into utility, and just hold the market like this. And occasionally you can check the tiles, check the tiles, check this, check the tiles, check this. Lock down the mid, and that's it. And once again, at the start of the round, you can send some fast rotation teleport towards the CT, LA, or A link. Like with the outlaw, you want to send this teleport towards the alley right there. I mean, you have a long range weapon, so sending the teleport towards the A short doesn't really make that much sense. Now, let's see what... I mean, we lost the round, so... Wait. This was crazy shit, man. My dude just ran out. I mean, if you already want to play... I don't know. I don't know how he even survived this, to be honest. That was crazy, man. That was crazy play. But if you played classic and shorty in the market, now we would have had like maybe 1 kill, 2 kills, maybe a weapon from the dead enemies. Think about it.
No way he saw my shoulder.
Also, listen guys, when you're playing this type of, you know, somewhat unwinnable rounds, like you end up 1 versus 5, 1 versus 4, like early on in the match, what's very important is that you still want to value the kills at least. Like, we still want to damage the enemy's economy as much as we can, and we want to build up our ultimate as soon as possible. Like, a lot of the players in Valorant, like, behave towards this type of a round, like, you know, like they can win it, like it doesn't fucking matter, essentially. Like, they just rush out and they're like, fuck this shit, I'm just gonna, you know, go and die. Don't do that. Like, let the enemy plant the spike, see if someone is gonna over-aggress, hold the angles, you know, like... I mean, in this round, if you lose it and you take 5 kills, we're only like 1 or 2 ultimate orbs away from the ultimate. We got 1000 credits in the pocket, and we damaged the enemy's economy for like over, I don't know, like, that's like probably like 15,000 credits minus for the enemy team, which is really good, and it's gonna allow us to win that 3rd round easier.
Yeah, thank you for that fucking smoke, bro.
Now, in this example here, he should have waited for this smoke to just go down. Like, going through this smoke was mega risky. Like, let them plant the spike, play for some exit frags, it's okay, man. Like winning this 1v3, it is possible. Like, there is like a solid 5 to 10% of chances that you can win this round if you one-tap all of the enemies. But it is highly improbable, and there is no reason to go for such a play early on in a match. Play for some exits, try to kill as many enemies as possible, play slow, keep your location a secret. If you just kill all 3 of these guys. Job done. We win the 3rd round, and we also have higher chances of winning the 4th round as well. Yo, actually, that's our smoke. What the fuck, bro? What the hell was that, man? Now, only because of the enemy's pattern of pushing, like, in this round, I will play on the A side. Like, in the first round, enemies went A. In the second round, they went B. So in this 3rd round, what I will be doing is, like, I will buy the Vandal, Heavy Shield, the Utility, Shorty, everything that I can afford. And I will start from the elbow. We throw this teleport. Like, basically, this TP. Fuck, sorry guys. This TP. So basically, you stand in this corner and basically aim for the bottom of this light thing right here. And I think that is the lineup for the CT. And that's, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Like, basically, as long as the teleports ends into spawn, that's fine. And essentially, I will just go a bit more aggro into the elbow and hold this tight pixel angle here. Try to kill one enemy with a first shot or a burst fire, and then when the enemies are moving in, with a fake out and flash, we can engage the enemies, try to get one more kill. Then we can escape towards this angle, hold this position in this way. I've explained why holding the angles in Valorant is okay and actually good sometimes in this specific way, where you narrow down the angle completely, you hold it closer to the wall, and you crouch down. You don't hold every angle like this, God forbid. You should not do that, but some angles are okay. And we try to go for another one tap. Burst fire, then enemies are moving in, backwards flash, try to get a kill, and then let's get the fuck out. Now listen, when do you want to cancel your rotational teleports when you're playing Yoru? Like, when you want to cancel this teleport? When you think that you're in some kind of a fucked up scenario where you will need to support your teammates as the enemies are pinching us, as the enemies are aggressing us, essentially. So basically, you know, if 5 enemies are pushing A side, and let's say my teammate is stuck there, I don't want to teleport all the way in the spawn. Like, then I will cancel my teleport, and I will probably do a shallow teleport for the CT. Like, basically a TP like this. That's gonna end up in that corner, and then if I end up in some kind of an effed up scenario here, I can TP away, but I'm still ready to fight with my ally that is on site, for an example. You also want to cancel your teleports when you want to go for some kind of an outplay. It's okay. You know, the whole point of this teleport is so we have higher chances, like, predicting the enemies, like basically supporting our teammates on the opposite part of the map. It's okay, even if you waste it, it's totally fine, like, it's not that big of a deal. We have a second one anyways.
They don't really have any recon. Except like Sky.
Steps mid.
Listen, I mean, if you already want to start, you know, in the B main and on the B side, like, you should always send your teleport towards the A side. You know, like a TP for the short, spawn, or CT. And just start from this position. Then we can maybe jiggle peek this angle, try to take a fight when the enemies are close. One of my favorite plays that I love to do is, like, basically I combine the flash with a fake out, and then that makes the fake out more believable, essentially. Like, when enemies see the flash and then the fake out, 99% of players are gonna shoot at that shit. And then we can peek out, try to get a kill. We can continue the aggression as well. Like, when the enemies are close, we can basically play, let's say, here. And then, when the enemies are pushing, as the enemies are taking the orb or clearing this angle, we can just do a backwards flash, take another kill, and then TP out. But if you hear that enemies are pushing B main early on, what I would also do I would cancel my teleport for the rotation towards A side. Like if I hear like 2, 3, 4, 5 footsteps, enemies are rushing fast B, I will cancel that teleport in the CT and send this teleport. And then I would do all of this shit. I mean, in this round, it's okay that he is not really aggressing the enemies too much, because enemies are playing a bonus round, you know, like they're half by, and okay, it's fine, we can play a bit more passively. And I really hope that the market is closed, because if the market is not closed, we are fucked, boys. Like, when you're playing Sunset, always tell your teammates that are starting in market to close the market doors if we are not fighting aggressively for the mid area of the map. Like, as soon as you stop holding the mid or the market, close the doors. You don't need it anymore. It's an additional choke point through which enemies can fuck us up. Now, when you were repositioning here, like, I mean, playing in this angle is kind of fucked up, to be honest. Like, once you finish the fight with the enemies, like, you know, let's say you play here and then we can use a pop flash, pick the enemies, take a kill, then we can use a fake out with a flash, like maybe like this, and then take another kill and you escape. Like, this position is a suicide angle, essentially. Like, it's really hard to get a kill without dying. Like, it's much better if after you know, engage the enemies in B main, just go back here and play this angle, you know, jiggle pick the enemies, or go back onto site and hold this angle here. Tight angle, you don't need to commit to the fight, and if your teammates get the fight with the enemies there, you can peek out, take a kill, and surprise the enemies with a peeker's advantage. Like, but getting stuck in this corner, like, I mean, it's okay, you're playing Yoru and you have a teleport, but one huge mistake in this round that you did was not resetting your teleport. Like, right now, you know, if we teleport, Cypher and Neon are alone on the site, and only God knows what they're gonna do and how they're gonna defend the site. God help us. Now the praying begins. This teleport here is also stupid, to be honest. Like, we saw a lot of the enemies in the B main. Essentially, we saw the, you know, Sky, Cypher, Reyna, like at least 3 enemies there. If you already wanted to do some kind of a teleport here, you either do a teleport towards the A site, basically some improvisation like that, or we essentially do the teleport like, you know, we put the TP here. So once we finish the fight with the enemies, you know, we're still there to support our allies and to play with them on the B side. But setting this second TP in the no man's land, you know, in the CT spawn, like, I don't know, that's gonna be fucked up, to be honest. That was a bit unlucky, to be honest. That was a bit unlucky. Listen here. If you have Cypher as a sentinel on Sunset, that Cypher player 24/7 in the first 4 to 6 rounds on a defender side should do and should have a tripwire here until the enemies start spamming or destroying that tripwire early on. Like, especially in the first 4 rounds, you should always tell your Cypher, hey man, can you do 1 trip for mid, close the market doors, and he can use the second trip for the B side. But not having any info on top mid, and especially in market, is really fucked up on this map. Like, we need to have something to work with. Now, once again, in this round, like, this TP in the CT, like, I don't know, like, just, you know, with this teleport, like, it's really hard for you to connect with your teammates in market, with your teammates on A site. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it's much better, like, if you're sending your teleports towards the A short or A alley, like basically the backside right here, I mean, CT, whatever, instead of sending it deep into the spawn.
Nothing B, man.
Ooh, okay.
Care made of me.
Wait. What the fuck? Why are you saving this round? Brother, listen. We lose the first 2 rounds. We win the 3rd round. 4th round is always a full buy. Like, that round is make it or break it for the economy and mental health as well. Like, in this round, what the fuck is going on? How are you playing with a Sheriff and Light Shield? Gecko? Sorry, man. Give me a drop. Neon? Give me a Vandal. What the fuck is this, bro? Your teammates have like 10,000 credits. 11,000. That they didn't use at all. And you're playing with a Sheriff and Light Shield in this round? That's crazy stuff, man. Crazy economy management. Like, in this round, like, you already have like 30% less chances of winning it.
Care made of me.
I think they're
Listen,
camping up on A.
whenever you're pushing the beam in area of the map and you want to lurk behind the enemies, always prioritize this pathing. Yes, you should go, you know, here, and then move here. Then these angles, we need to jiggle peek, in and out, in and out, in and out. Clear this angle, and always go behind this box like this. So that you didn't lose accidentally a timing with an enemy. It can happen, you know, like maybe enemies walk right as you're peeking that angle, then they come here, then you pass him, he passes you, and your teammates are like, what the fuck, how are the enemies on the B side? Don't do that, you know? And also, with this pathing, it's easier to clear this corner because of the angle perception advantage. We can clear it really deep, and then we just do this, and move forward.
Portal closed.
I'll try my TP.
Yeah, coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
but
all.
Did that saw you?
Jet's on a box tag.
Oh, Cypher's in the fucking corner.
Spike planted.
No, like, when you're going for these lurks and flanks, you know, if enemies have planted the spike, and your teammates are just about to fight the enemies, like, there's no backing off. Like here, if you had the teleport for the CT, I would have 100% teleported back. I would have sent my clone, TP back towards the CT and play with my allies. But because you don't have a TP, and the spike has been planted, and your teammates are this close to fighting the enemies, we need to commit to this fight. Like, we just need to do something here. You know, right now, send the clone, wait for the enemies to maybe shoot it, pop flash the enemies. We need to move in. Okay.
Two over 95.
Aim left the match. No problemo. But I really don't understand. Why did you play equal last round? Like, maybe you could kill this Cypher, I don't know, like, maybe you turn into a god mode and actually win this round. Obviously, you're not gonna do that, but... And another mistake that we made here is in the first 4 to 6 rounds, actually the first 4 rounds, on a defender side of every fucking map in Valorant, don't lurk, don't flank, prioritize fast, safe rotations to support your allies. It is not worth it. I can name so many reasons why that is bad, but the ultimate reason is you have no effing idea how good or how bad are your teammates in that specific match. You don't know how fast they're gonna start dying. You don't know how they're gonna be defending the bomb sites. You cannot trust the shit out of them. Lurks flanks, they take too much time. In order for you to do that, you need to have the teammates that are staying alive. Like if all of your teammates die and you end up every round like 1 versus 4, 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2, 1 versus 5, what was the point? Literally, what's the point? Like it doesn't make any sense. In the first 4 rounds on every map in Valorant, maybe up to 6, fuck the lurks and flanks. Only do that shit if nothing else is working for you, or if you see an opening or opportunity to do that. Especially when the enemies have the sentinels such as, you know, like Cypher and Killjoy, like you're just gonna get revealed, you know? Your lurking is gonna be compromised. Yes, you're gonna apply some pressure onto the enemies, but if enemies are doing a 5-man push onto A site, you know, it's gonna be interesting watching your teammates die.
95 smoke.
Now in this round here, like personally, I would start on top mid or market because I have no idea where the enemies are gonna go. And since you're playing Yoru, like we can just start in the market, which is our default area of the map, and put a fast rotation teleport towards the A site. Like basically on Sunset, when you have no idea where the enemies are gonna go, with Yoru, start around the market or in B main, try to get some kills there, and just put a fast teleport towards the A site. And top mid here, like I would only play if I have the operator and enemies are just swinging top mid like imbeciles, and I can just capitalize on some easy kills. This crosshair placement here, criminal. I don't know if something changes on a stretch resolution, but this is not a headshot there for the enemies. It should be a bit higher, like 2 pixels, I don't know, like 2 centimeters. 1 centimeter, 1 inch.
Smoke mid, I think.
Portal closed.
No, that was our close smoking for the
Cutting through.
Market. A lot.
What is this?
Lot market.
Climbing.
Spike down B.
But you heard the doors closing. Now listen, if the enemies are pushing B side and they close the market doors, that's even better. That's amazing. Then once we clear the market, enemies can only be in the CT, site or B main. If this type of a scenario happens for you, just play with your Cypher, you know, go fast into the CT, let's try to kill the enemies that are moving through market. That's it. But anyways, like you really need to emphasize, like early on in a match, like we need to have the top mid like tripwire. Like this is, like, we're leaving a huge gap on top mid, and now we need to play here because yes, one enemy can be going through the smoke. But also remember, like on Sunset, like fuck the map control, man. Like literally, just prioritize team play. Do fast rotations on the first contact between enemies and your allies, especially early on in a match, and just be done with it. Like on this map, like map control really doesn't matter. It's all about the refrag game, refrag potential, and playing with your allies as best as you can. Sorry, I need to listen to the footsteps. Like I didn't like hear the market doors.
Spike down B.
Main one.
Good flush. This teleport boggles my mind, literally. Like, you were safe. You were safe. You got smoked off. 2 of your teammates are on the site fighting the enemies and you teleport away. Chill, man. Chill. Relax, bro. Like, play with your teammates, you know?
Oh, he killed me, Hedge.
Blocked me, I can see it.
One enemy remaining.
Where's me?
Spike down B.
Can you try run away?
One enemy remaining.
You're over here. Nice.
Okay. I don't know. Like some of these decision making that you have like really doesn't make any sense. Like for example, lurking in a fourth round of the match, saving in a fourth round of the match when you won the third round, like doing these TPs in the CT early on in a match when I don't know, man. I really don't know. Now in this round here, I would definitely play on the A side because enemies kinda developed the AB pattern of pushing in the previous few rounds, and we can also use the rule of fear to read them a bit more. But once again, I would use the teleport towards the CT and play elbow together with my claw. Like, I really don't know, you know, what he's gonna do with this teleport right now.
Cutting through.
What the fuck is this shit, bro? Listen. 80% of the times, you want to fight the enemies from the elbow and keep the elbow control. If your Gecko is already playing from the right side, play with your claw from the left side. We can easily stop the enemy's push on A short. Claw just does a one-way smoke, that's it. Like, enemies most of the times won't have the confidence to move in. But this Gecko, like, if Claw dies right now, and enemy somehow pushes back, like with a smoke, flash, I don't know, paranoia stun something, like they have the Sky Dog, Sky Flash, stuff like that, and Claw dies, and we lose the elbow control. Defending A stat is gonna be much harder for us. And also, like, I mean, when you're starting from the elbow, like, you have really a lot of options, like, to outplay the enemies. Like, basically, we can basically do a fake out from here, this type of a flash, and then peek, like with a clone. Just make sure that you're not flashing yourself, like, you know, like, do it like that. And then, bap, 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 we take the kills. They're gonna think that's you, you know? Like, you can drop the clone, do the flash, do this, and then, bap, they think it's you, you take a kill. And I have no idea why do you start rotating here. You don't know if enemies are B main. You don't know if enemies are A main. You don't know if enemies are mid. Like, when do you want to rotate from one side to another once you take the main control from the enemies? You want to rotate once we take the full control and once at least like 10 seconds passes from, like, 10 to 15 seconds of the round actually passes. Like here, for example, your Gecko did a flash. We did a one-way smoke. Wait a bit more. The round just started, essentially. Like, wait until 1:30, and then let's actually rotate.
I don't know why you push.
We should take control, but I think I need to peek first.
I should have played Kings. It's not me.
Listen, when you're holding the top mid from this position, always hold it, especially when you're playing Yoru, as a 70-30 or 90-10 angle. Like, narrow it down. Like, basically hold it like this. Like, this fight is really fucked up for you, especially in high-low lobbies. Like, players pre-aim this angle a lot of the times. Your head is just gonna fly away from your shoulders. Hold this angle as tight as your reaction time allows you from this wall here. And then with Yoru, you have endless possibilities to outplay the enemies. Like with Yoru, essentially when you're holding the angles, most of the times you're holding the angles only for information. Like, yes, you're trying to kill the enemies, you know, like, we should be holding like some good off angles and sometimes even committing to the fights with the enemies. But the main power of Yoru is like fake out, flash, and teleports. Like, you want to fight the enemies on your own ground and on your own terms, essentially. So, I'll be holding this angle in this way, trying to go for a one-tap or a burst fire. And then we can send the fake out with a flash. Enemies are gonna shoot at the fake out, and now you peek, and now you try to kill the enemies. Or we can just do some kind of a high up flash, like this. Take a kill. And then go back. Then we can send the fake out to make the enemies think that we're staying there and delay their push through top mid a bit more. As we are making, you know, as we are keeping our location a secret, and we are repositioning on the right side. Now from this position, you know, we can go for a pop flash like this, take another kill, for an example. Like, especially with Yoru, you don't want to hold wide angles and, you know, one and done positions that much. At least if you don't have a teleport to get the fuck out after the first fight. But this is such a common angle, a common position, and then everyone pre-fires this in high lobbies. At least they should. Listen, whenever you're fighting the enemies from top mid, and you don't have the teammates that are holding the mid from market or fighting with you, like, crossing this area of the map without jump spotting the enemies is a suicide, essentially. Like, basically, enemies here can be on so many different vertical and horizontal positions. Like, the guy can be holding this shit. They can be up here, there. Fuck all of that. If you're already not keeping your location a secret, and you're not shifting, you know, like jiggle picking these angles and going in and out, like, jump spot the enemies, and then take a fight with them. Like, we can use some kind of a pop flash like this to peek them, try to kill them. Also, a flash like this to kill the guys there and there. And then we take a fight with the enemies. If an enemy is close, okay, a fast pixel flash, take a kill. But just swinging in this area of the map, and you know, like, especially, this is just stupid. Like, whenever you're not keeping your location a secret, just jump spot the enemies first, get the info for your crosser, get the info for your utility, and then take a fight, you know, easy fight with the enemies, with your flash, pop flash, like, fake out, whatever. This is such a stupid, unnecessary death.
Still made on the stairs. Bro, I don't know if they shot them.
Time to jump.
Now listen, in this round, I mean, buying Bulldog is a fine, you know, half-buy weapon, essentially, in Valorant. But, because you have the teleport with Yoru, and you're one ultimate orb away from the ultimate, in this round, buying a Judge, or some kind of a close-range weapon, would have been 10 times better. Like, 10 times better. Like, first of all, playing on the A set, okay, it's a fine gamble, whatever. Let me showcase you how I would play this round. So, I don't have money to buy for, you know, we're saving the money for the next round. Okay, let's buy the Judge with a light shield and all of the utility. Let's send a teleport for the fast rotation, and let's bait the enemies to come into the elbow. Like, basically, I'm not gonna use the Judge, I'm not gonna hold some stupid position like this, I'm gonna bait the enemies. I'm gonna take this fight with the enemies, like, just hold a tight pixel angle for information. Make the enemies think that I have a classic pistol. If the Sky is using the dog, or she's using the ultimate, I'll make sure to destroy that dog, or the ultimate, with a classic pistol. And then, when the enemies are close, we take one easy kill, get the fuck away, with a teleport. Then, you know, we get the ultimate. Now with the ultimate, we send the teleport to go back. We still have a fake out and a flash. Get behind the enemies, you know, do the fake out, get out, or pop flash them, get out. Easy kills for you. And then we get a second kill. Now, what if our read is wrong and enemies actually go B? Whatever. We have the ultimate orb right here, and we can go for some kind of a fast rotation with a teleport in the CT. And then if the enemies are pushing B side, we use the ultimate, and once again fuck them up with the judge, fake out, and flashes. But Bulldog, like, you know, investing money in Bulldog in this round and not using the judge with your utility like on a claustrophobic map such as Sunset is just, I mean, it's kind of criminal, to be honest. Like, it's just you're making your rounds harder than they should be.
Big low.
Cypher's on
Tag the 100 close.
I can't.
Tag the 100 again on close.
And I just need to repeat one more time. On Sunset, prioritize defending the elbow and playing with your teammates in elbow more than defending the A short. Like, defending A short is just not that important. I mean, it is important, but once you lose the elbow, things become really fucking hard.
I've got your trail.
And please, when you're standing in the smokes, like when you're pushing the bomb sites, when you want to go for some kind of a play, going for the retakes, always try to stand in a smoke in a way, in a position that is essentially less likely to be spammed by the enemy team. Like here, for an example, I would never in my life stand inside of this smoke here. Why? Because people usually pre-fire, you know, this, and then they move in. You know, they kind of like, try to spam it like that. So, if I already want to go for the pop flash through this smoke, I'm gonna play here, or I'm gonna play here. And then, once I'm ready to go for a play, I'll basically go from this side.
Last player standing.
That's just a timing problem, you know, timing. And essentially, like, when you're learning, you know, these pop flashes with Yoru, like, it's all based on the feeling. You know, there's no easy way to learn this stuff or to master it immediately. Like, it's all trial and error. You need to spend some time in a custom server, like 10 to 15 minutes per day, like practicing these various different flashes, like you know, pop flash through the smoke, high up flashes, one-way flashes, pixel flashes. Like, we have different variations, and I've explained them all in my ranked playbook. Like, I covered everything about the flashes of Yoru. Take a look at that video. And the more times you die, you know, you're gonna learn over the time. Go in a swift play, you know, try to get familiar with the timings, like when the flash goes out, but this is really like, this ain't it, bro, you know, like. And also another tip I need to give you is, like, when you're going for this pop flash through the smoke, like, yes, your number one priority when you're going for a pop flash through the smoke is, like, flashing the enemy, obviously. But your second priority is peeking from the opposite side from where your flash is going. You know, if you want to flash the enemies here, it's much better if you peek from the left side. Like, basically you do some kind of a flash like this, and then you go out. If you want to peek from here, it's much better if you flash there, for an example. If that cipher is already overexposed here, that is much better flash. Why? Because most of the players, like, have a reaction to pre-assume that you're coming from the side from which the flash is going. I mean, that's like a natural reaction of the players in Valorant. I mean, not only Valorant. So, like, you know, it's more likely that they will try to spam this part of the smoke once they see that flash, instead of spamming you right there, for an example. But try not to flash yourself, you know, like, we don't want to do that, obviously. Now listen, when you have Yoru ultimate on a defender side, like, you can save it for the retakes, number one. You can save it for eco rounds, halberd rounds, and you know, for the rounds where you have only a Bucky, Shorty, Judge, and stuff like that. But also what you can do with the ultimate, immediately at the start of the round, you can use it as an information gathering tool and try to kill one enemy and go back. Especially in the matches like where enemies are kind of unpredictable, your teammates are bad as shit, essentially. This is one of those games. It is totally fine for you to like open up your ultimate right now, push through the beam and area of the map, try maybe to get one kill with your fake out, and then TP away. And in this round, you know, once again we should have had a teleport for the A side. Yes, we have 3 teammates on A, but let's be honest, they ain't that good.
Oh, it's the one time.
Why? Why would you take that fight in such a clean way? First of all, you know, we know that enemies are pushing beam in area of the map. You have a fake out. Why would you peek? Why would you dry peek the enemies? Use your utility. Here, you know, first thing that I would do, I would sell my position. So I would wait here, a perfect moment of time to jiggle peek the enemies. And I won't commit to the fight that much. You know, I will listen to the audio of the enemy's footsteps, and I'll try to maybe kill this dude or this dude. Once I reveal myself, I'm sending the clone. They're gonna shoot at this clone 90% of chance. 99% of chance. We sold the position. Enemies are on a high alert. Like they're basically like, is he gonna go for a flash? Is he gonna peek? What the fuck is he gonna do? Like, everyone is gonna shoot that flash. The clone. Enemy shoot the clone. You killed one more enemy. Get out. But going here and fighting this guy immediately in a clean 50-50 fight, why would you do that? Like, I mean, you're just fighting in the fights that are completely 50-50. And you need to start fighting in the fights that actually work in your favor, you know? Like trying to outplay the enemies, trying to fight on your own terms, your own ground. Essentially, you're risking it a lot. I mean, basically, already now we can stop with the VOD review. And I can share with you like 6 hours of my private coaching. And these 6 hours of videos that I'm going to share with you like are going to fix all of these problems immediately. But this is just, you know, horrific for a Yoru player, man. You have a TP, fake out. Enemies are pushing B main, like, chill here. Wait a bit. For the enemies to be close. Jiggle pick one enemy. Try to kill him. Send the fake out. On one side. Peek from another side. Try to get one more kill. Get out.
Oh, it's the one time. Fucking.
And whenever you're using a TP, unless you're behind some kind of a cover, it should always look like this. Like this is something that you should practice during your ranked games, team deathmatches, swift play, unrated, custom server. Like, it needs to look like that. Like every TP that you do, if you want to be a Yoru main, needs to look like that. If you're overexposed, enemies can peek you at any moment of time, or, you know, you're fighting the enemies essentially. We need to make, you know, enemies' time of killing you a bit harder. Now here, using the ultimate through the mid is actually not the best idea ever. Like, when you're using the early ultimate, it's much better if you use it like through some main area of the map on a defender's side. Just so that you can fully clear that main area of the map if the enemies are not there. And we can slowly, you know, cut off a huge map control from the enemy team. Like now when you go through mid, you know, if enemies are not A, so you want to use this ultimate, let's say towards the A side. If enemies are not A, you're going to waste a huge portion of your ultimate. And you're not, you know, you won't have enough duration of the ultimate to actually like turn your focus towards the B set and maybe backstab one enemy and then teleport away, for an example. But if you start the round from the A main and you do this, ba 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 ba, then, you know, you will be behind the enemies. And maybe you can go for some kind of a pop flush, fake out, try to get one kill, and then TP away into the CT and play with your allies.
I can
I'll handle this.
But okay, the gamble paid off here, I guess.
There's like 3 minutes.
Listen, man, I mean, okay, well, whatever, like, to be honest. To be honest, whatever. To be honest, whatever. Like, he got his, like, he got one kill at least. I mean, this shit that you tried here is only good when you're only fighting one enemy at that moment of time. But if you're fighting like two enemies, you need to use your flashes to blind the second enemy, or like basically here, you know, how would I exit this ultimate? Like, okay, the play was totally fine. You know, I would go behind the enemies.
I'll handle this. My ult's ready.
I would get, you know, behind that club and behind the Cypher. I would go for I would put a fake out on the ground, do the flash, do the fake out, kill the Clove, take her gun, and then try to kill the Cypher. Like, but also, like, you had enough time in your ultimate here to scout for some other enemies as well. Like, for example, like, always search for better opportunities when you're in the Yoru ultimate. Like here with the shorty, you know, most of the times you're gonna get one kill and die. Unless these two enemies are just full imbeciles. You had enough, you know, you had half of your ultimate duration to scout for a potentially better opportunity to kill an enemy. Like you could have went into the elbow and maybe isolate one guy there, around the wall, flashes and fake out. Like search for more opportunities. Like don't only lock down on the first target that you see. If you already have a
I know it.
high duration of the ult left.
Out of my way.
Now, this teleport that you did was way too early. Like, basically, you know, you want to send your teleports for fast rotations, like, maximum 10 seconds before the round starts. Like, that should be the maximum amount of time. But sending your teleport for a fast rotation towards the A site in 20 seconds of a preparation phase, I mean, like, we're gonna have like 5 seconds on a teleport, and if enemies are pushing something on a contact, like, that teleport is just wasted. Like, fuck, as I said, like, you know, the only thing that you need to learn with Yoru that is really important on the defender side is a few rotational teleports. Everything else is like, okay, you can live without it, you know, like, stand here, like, learn a few TPs, you know, that goes into A link, A alley, and CT. You know? That's enough. That's more than enough. When you're playing on the A side, like from the elbow, send the TP, learn the TP for the CT, and that's it. But sending this teleport so early on, this is crazy, man.
Get out of my way.
Now listen, like, playing in this spot, in a full buy round with Yoru, is a bit of a waste of Yoru's potential. I mean, like, you never really tried truly aggressing the enemies in the B main area of the map. Or at least you didn't try it with your utility. Like, you were just holding the angle, jiggle peeking the angles, like, let's try to fuck up the enemies a bit, you know? You're playing Yoru, you're not playing Reina, you're not playing Iso. I mean, even with Reyna and ISO, you want to use the shield, debuff, you know, like Reyna flash. Like, come on, start the round here, destroy the Cypher's camera. Listen, no matter how passive or how passive you are starting on the B set of Sunset, you should always be pre-firing this spot and destroying the Cypher's camera every single round. Like, enemy Cypher should never have the information if we are playing aggressively in the B main area of the map, and if we can be here, destroy that camera. And then, you know, we can jiggle P this angle, try to get a kill, like, you know, go for a pixel flash, try to kill an enemy, cancel your TP, put a TP back on the site, like, essentially, like, put a clone, do the clone, then flash, then peek after they destroy the clone, take another kill. Like, how is this your first position?
Spike down A.
That TP there is actually fine, to be honest.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. We have spike. This hold is cross.
Fake teleport.
I don't know why would you cancel that teleport.
Fake teleport.
I mean, you know, the sound of the TP of the Yoru's teleport is like identical to the sound of this circle right here. I mean, if you did that teleport to make the enemy Sky think that you went CT, I mean, like, on this position, she doesn't hear that teleport unless she's, like, you know, all the way top mid. But she didn't have time to go top mid because she was in aiming like 5 seconds ago, 4 seconds. But anyways, it doesn't matter, like, you know, we should be fighting here together and on a reframe potential, like.
Yo, Sky dose.
Once again, this is a criminal way of starting the rounds with Yoru, like, on Sunset. First of all, we should be sending the teleport for A site, not the TP for the CT. I don't know why you're sending your teleports over the CT. I don't know. Why would I ever send my teleport towards the CT, like my first teleport? Like, if I'm starting on B, I want to have a TP on A. If I'm starting on A, I want to have the TP for the CT because there's nothing better I can fucking do, you know? Like on A side, you can either send the teleport towards CT or towards the right side of top mid, right here, you know, from A short. But on the B side, like, it just doesn't make any sense. And starting this passively against the Sky with a dog, flashes, and ultimate, let's waste some of their utility before they reach this position. In this spot, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked. Like, how you position yourself on a defender side heavily depends on what agents enemies have and what is their ultimate status. Like, you consistently need to adapt your positioning based on that as well, on top of, you know, how good or how bad are your teammates and how good and how bad are the enemies. Here, like, just maybe, like, if Clove actually kills the ultimate and she kills the Sky Dog, maybe, I don't know, we can get a kill.
Back soon.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Listen, when it comes to your Yoru utility users, like, you need to take a look at my playbook, man, and try to practice that stuff, bro. Like, at least the flashes, I mean, soon I'm gonna cover everything, but I think, like, flash is covered, like, ultimate is covered, like, you need to have higher efficiency here. Like, here, doing this type of a flash, criminal. Like, this is a flash criminal. Try to think more like, you know, when you're using Yoru flashes outside of the box, you know, And first of all, you know, number one rule of using the Yoru flash is like we want to hide the trail of the flash as much as possible from the enemies. So we want to use some high up flashes, pixel flashes, like we don't want enemies to see that flash. You know, for example here, you could have done that flash. That flash is great when you're fighting the enemies in this CT area of the map. Like basically you just aim up top, don't throw it across the map like I did, and then peek together with that flash. Or do the pixel flash here. Turn around and try to, like, you know, not get flashed. Do the bounce flash, you know, behind yourself. And now peek the enemies. But doing this, why would you do that? I mean, and he did something like this essentially. He put the flash all the way here. Enemies already see the flash popping from the ground. They can easily turn around, get flashed for maybe like 0.5, 1 second, and they're ready to fight you.
Planted.
That was such a wide flash man there. I mean, he was more flash than the enemies, to be honest. Wanna know a funny story? Like, a few years ago, I think it was like 7 years ago, I was playing one Overwatch tournament. I think the prize pool was like 25,000 euros. And it was a LAN tournament. And like, I was usually playing like Junkrat, the Reaper, and I don't know who else, like just the characters, like duelists, like I forgot what's the name of just carries in general. And for some reason, like because of one map rotation, like because we didn't ban one map, I needed to play a fucking Lucio. And in the semi-finals of that tournament, I'm reading the fucking abilities of a Lucio that I never played in my fucking life. And people behind me are literally laughing, bro. Like you know, everyone else is like locked in, like they're ready, like pulling out, like, you know, they're ready to fight. And I'm here like pressing F2, F1, I don't know the keybind on Overwatch. And I'm reading the abilities, like, man, in a 25k tournament. This is what that reminded me of. Like my dude is playing a ranked match in Immortal 1, a rank up match to Immortal 1. And the guy is reading the abilities of Yoru. Utmost respect. Utmost respect. What the, bro? Like, come on, bro. Listen. Like, you need to learn a few setups with Yoru on a defender's side. You know, like, basically, first of all, with Yoru, you know, especially early on in a match, you should not be starting super passively. Like, you want to fight, you know, you want to fight for the A main control, B main control, mid. Try to kill the enemies with your utilities. Like, you have such a cool outplays with Yoru that you can do to kill the enemies. Like, for example, you know, even if you're playing alone, you can aggress the enemies alone with Yoru. Like, for example, you know, you're defending the A site, start in the elbow, 2 seconds before the round starts, or 1 second, do this teleport. Now let's slowly move into the elbow. Then, if the enemies are pushing fast, we can set this, do this, take a kill, get out. For an example. We take a kill. Then, we apply an enormous amount of pressure onto the enemies. You have time, probably, to go back into the elbow. Let's play this position. Then, let's do this, take another kill, send another rotational teleport. You take another kill, let's get the fuck out, play the retake with our allies. Then, for an example, you can put this teleport at the start of the round. If you think enemies are going A, No problemo. We put the clone here. Round is starting. We use the clone, destroy the camera, do the flash, try to take a kill, get into the elbow. Then from the elbow, support your allies again. We can do a pop flash here, like this. This flash is really good, like it flashes the enemies that are deep, right? But you can also do the normal flash like that, like up in this corner, bop bop bop, take a kill, get out. Then, like, you know, when you're defending the B side, what the fuck? Like, when you're defending the B side, like, there's so many good setups that you can use to kill the enemies. Setup number 1. Playing behind the box with a fast rotational teleport towards the A side. You know, you can tell one of your teammates to destroy the camera, get behind the box. Enemies are pushing in, set up a clone, do the flash, kill an enemy. Enemies are pressuring you, do another flash and a clone. Enemies are going to destroy the clone, get flash for 3.5 seconds, kill one more enemy, get out. You know? Then, another setup. At the start of the round, don't throw any teleport. Wait to see if enemies are pushing B fast. Aha! Enemies are pushing B fast. Put this teleport. And now, throw a flash. You know, when the enemies are pushing here, put a fake out. As the enemies are crossing the stairs, throw a flash. Before the flash pops, use the teleport. Enemies are gonna turn towards the teleport. They're gonna be flashed. And now we can use that timing to kill this guy. Then we use the fake out with a flash. Enemies are gonna destroy the fake out. You peek, you take another kill. Like, there's so many ways how we can take the kills with Yoru. And especially on a fast rotation map such as Bind, not Bind, sorry, Sunset, Ascent and Split, for an example. You don't want to start this passively, man. Like, you need to fight a bit more for the main control, like, of aim and B main. Like, you know, the least you should be doing on B set is, you know, jump spotting this, or jiggle peeking this angle and occasionally checking that angle. Also, the least you should be doing on A site, if you're playing alone, is holding this tight pixel angle for information. Then we take a small fight with the enemies. We don't need to commit, you know? Take a small fight. Now, pixel flash. Take a kill. Use a fake out with a pixel flash. They destroy the fake out. Bam. Take another kill. Let's teleport away. Like, you need to fight enemies more with your utility. Like, I don't know why I submitted this VOD for a VOD review, because a lot of these rounds are just mechanical problems, and you're not really familiar with the agent at all. You know? Like, the first thing I would recommend you is, like, take a look at my ranked playbook, especially once I finish the Yoru playbook, and just try to apply some of these tips. But this VOD review just showcases me that your map awareness is not the best. But okay, I mean, like even with these tips, like, you know, your gameplay is gonna get better than what it is right now, because this is terrible, like, essentially. I mean, your Yoru gameplay on Sunset is definitely gonna get better, but it's just a terrible game to submit for a VOD review, in my opinion. Like, you could have submitted a much better match, but okay. I mean, I've noted down some of your problems, especially mechanical problems. We're gonna figure out some training for you, like, and some shit like that. And also, for example, like, you need to start thinking about your flashes more in a three-dimensional way. Four dimensions. Like, for example, you know, you want to flash enemies on mid. Don't do this flash. Don't throw this flash. Like, throw this flash. Bam. Who the fuck is gonna pay attention? Like, I'm holding mid. There's no fucking way. Like, look how this flash looks like. Ah, there's no way I'm looking up there. There's no way enemies are dodging that. Easy kills for you. Then, like, you want to push enemies through the smoke with a flash. Don't do this. That's what Charlatan does, and that's why Charlatan dies every fucking time I go through the smoke. What you want to do You just like aim somewhere up high, behind you, above you, like find a different angle, or aim on the opposite part from which you want to peek. Like do this flash, but peek from the left side. You know? Do the flash through the smoke, but peek from the other side, so that enemies are not pre-aiming you, because most of the players pre-aim on a location from which they see the flash, and they start spamming you there like a monkeys, essentially. Then with the ultimate, if there's 2 enemies around you, like maybe search for a better opportunity to kill the enemies. Like you had half of your ultimate available. Aha, one guy is only here. Now what I can do the fake out here, risk it a bit more for the biscuit. Get out of the ultimate, put a fake out, he destroys the fake out, bomb. Kill that guy, pick up his Vandal. And now we play, you know, together with our allies, for an example. And you need to do better. Like, don't throw your teleport when you're playing B site on the CT. Throw it towards the A site if you already want to use some rotational teleport. It's just a waste. And you know, when it comes to your positioning, like first 2 rounds, always play market, close the doors and stuff like that. And then we need to read the enemies. And if you want to use the ultimate to get behind the enemies and to instantly clear some area of the map, start in some main area of the map. Aim it or beam it. And then use the ultimate. We clear everything. Ba ba boo ba ba ba. Ba ba boo ba ba ba. You know? I mean, I would not go in a spawn. I would go through the mid, of course, to clear the mid as well. And then we fully pinch and lock down the enemies. Like, they can either be spawn or they can be here. But most likely they're going to be around the main area of the map. Or they're going to be pressured to push your teammates faster. And when you're doing this type of a shit, let's say from B main to A, you always want to have a teleport ready for the A side. So if you end up in some effed up scenario, you know, while you're doing this, you can always TP away and keep your location a secret, you know? Like we get here, like, Cypher is here with his trips. Okay, we can get out of the ultimate, destroy the Cypher trip, use the fake out, use the pop flash, bam, enemy is dead. TP out. We made a numbers advantage. Now we can play with our teammates on A short, stop the enemies push through the smoke, stuff like that. Then, you need to spend some time with Yoru, man. Like I don't know, you just don't have enough time to play Yoru, and you need to apply. You need to start thinking more outside of the box. Maybe Yoru is not the best agent for you, just based on this defender side. I would probably recommend you someone like Raze, someone like Jet, the other agents that I've recommended you at the start of this VOD review. You know, if you already want to move away from the Reyna ISO type of shit, and you want to expand yourself as a player. But okay, anyways, you know, let's see what you're doing on the attacker side, and let's see, you know, what you can improve with Yoru on the attack, because this was like, I don't know, just horrible overall. Okay, ladies and gents, welcome to the attacker side of Sunset. Story is very simple. Default bomb site, number 1 priority, B site. Number 2 priority, A site. Number 3 priority, mid area of the map. In the first 5 rounds, not really 5, like let's say 4 to 6, we want to play together as 5, trying to execute B site and A site. Like we are testing the enemies there, trying to see how they're gonna respond to our executes, because the easiest playstyle that you can actually use on the attacker side to win the rounds and win the games is doing 5-man executes. If enemies don't have a good response to your 5-man executes, and they don't have good retakes as well, the match is already over. If you notice in the first 4 to 6 rounds that playstyle is not working for you, we need to switch it up. Then we're turning our focus towards the mid area of the map, or maybe defaulting a bit more, faking the enemies, you know, all of that good stuff. Pattern of pushing on Sunset. Enemies have Cypher. 3 rounds in a row, we push A site. In a 4th round, we fake A and we go B. Enemies don't have Cypher. 3 rounds in a row, we push B site, and in a 4th round, we fake A, we fake B and end up on A. when you're faking the bomb sites, you should always send two, like one initiator to fake and one useless piece of crap that you have in team. Like for example, in this team composition, who should fake the bomb site? Cypher and Gecko should fake the B site. And when you're playing Yoru, you should support them in that fake. Because like you can send a teleport over A site, fake B a bit, you know, do maybe a fake out plus the flash, go back, and let your Gecko and Cypher commit towards the fake, while you're slowly taking the space on the A site together with the rest of the team. And during the fakes, like your teammates on the opposite part of the map should always have some kind of a smoke. You know, if you're faking B site, we need to have this smoke. If you're faking A site, we need to have the smoke for A short. Now, in this match, enemies do have Cypher, and essentially like pushing B site in this elo, I mean, not this elo, but generally pushing B site in the first round against the Cypher is hell of a time. Like, you don't know what your teammates are gonna do. You don't know, like, how they're gonna play around that Cypher. Plus, we don't have a single shit to destroy the Cypher tripwires on the B site. At least destroy it immediately. You know, we have a fake out, Gecko Molotov, but not enough. Not enough. Like, our Neon is gonna be like, you know, Mr. Poppins is gonna be like bouncing on a trampoline like as he's entering the site. So in this match, we should have pushed A site instead of going B. But if you decide to go somewhere in the first round, on every single map in Valorant, you should always do a 5-man push on either A or B. No splitting, no defaulting, nothing. I've explained multiple times throughout my VOD reviews why this is the best idea for the first round on the attacker side. No teammates, don't go mid, come with us B-man, let's push B. Fuck it. Like, splitting in the first round is mega dangerous. You have no idea what your teammates are gonna do on the opposite part of the map. We have no idea how enemies are playing the game. And also, in the first round, playing the refray game is very easy. We have semi-automatic weapons. We have 10 times more utility than enemies on that specific site. As long as we play fast, we're gonna win that round. And as long as we play the proper refray game. Now, since we're going B, you know, and since our teammates don't listen in this round, like, what is mandatory for us to do in this round? If you have Cypher in your team, and you're pushing B site, that Cypher should always give us a camera here, looking towards the B-man like this, or the camera up here, looking towards the B-man area of the map like this. Why is this camera sometimes good? Because it actually, you know, it sees, you know, a lot of Radiant players, pro players like to spam this, and almost never, I never saw anyone spamming this angle there, you know, like, it's harder to destroy the camera. And that camera reveals the enemies. We buy the classic light shield. One flash, one fake out, jump spot the enemies, always clear this angle, this off angle, jump spot the enemies here, path towards the box, clear the box. Now, why would you do that if you're playing against Omen? For an example, you know, camera doesn't see the Omen. But in this match, camera is gonna check the enemies. We're good to go. And your default execute on the B side of Sunset in the first round on the attacker side, generally on Sunset, is the following. We place the fake out first, but down on the ground. As we are placing the fake out, we send the teleport towards the stairs. Then we use the fake out, we bounce the flash right here, and we teleport together with the flash. It doesn't get more simple than this. 90% of times, when you're executing B side, fake out should be running towards the stairs or towards the market like this. And we should be sending the teleport towards the stairs and combining that teleport with some kind of a flash like this. You want to find yourself here, where you clear this angle as soon as possible, and you only focus on the enemies at the backside. We can clear backside with a second flash, not in the first round, but in other rounds, or maybe, you know, back flash, and then we fight with our teammates at the market and in this area of the map right here. Like, that is the most standard and the most default execute that you should be doing on the B side of Sunset. Everything else is just a bit of improvisation based on where we saw the enemies and how many times we repeated this play, and whether or not enemies are punishing us somehow right here. Almost never you want to end up in this corner. You're way too overexposed. You have nowhere to hide. And you can easily get fucked by the enemies and enemies' utility. Do what I told you to do here. At least for now, you know, in the future when the sunset gets changed, you know, we're gonna have plenty of better executes than this shit. Okay, let's see what our friend is gonna do. We have a camera. I don't know why you're walking here. Like, if our teammates are pushing fast mid, fuck the contact. We need to take the beam and area of the map as soon as possible. If our teammates start dying in market, we're gonna be like 2 versus 4, 2 versus 3, 2 versus 5. Move. Move! Move! Ah! And why did you peek all of these angles? Listen, if I have a classic pistol in the first round, I don't want to take this fight and this fight, this fight, this fight and this fight. Like, in this range with the classic pistol, you need to pray to Jesus Christ to hit a headshot, because it is above 25 meters and the bullet spread on the classic is ginormous, essentially. Like, if you're using a classic pistol in the first round with a movement type of agents, your job is to avoid these type of fights. You want to fight on the actual site. Once you close the gap with the enemies, you have a light shield, you have a classic pistol, triple shot potential. Easiest kills of your life. Like, if I'm pathing here, I'm just gonna do this, get behind the box, jump spot this, and I'm getting ready for the exit. Doing this, sending the fake out, doing the teleport, bam, I am out. This is where I fight. And please, like, when you're sending your fake out, like, make these clones a bit more believable. You know? I don't just send them running in a random direction. Like, when you're pushing the B side, like, send the clone like here, or send a clone like this, or send a clone like this. I don't send it in the middle of the site. Like, who the fuck pushes the B side like this, you know? I don't know, man. Like here, in the first round with Yoru, you always go for some kind of an aggressive play on the actual bomb site when your teammates are ready to move in and when they're ready to support you on every single map. We're always trying not to waste our utility in the choke points. Like, I would really try when I'm playing Yoru to reach this position, and this position without wasting too much utility. Like, when you reach these 3 spots, you should have at least 1 teleport and a flash with yourself. And then you kinda avoid these pointless gunfights, you know, at the choke points. Go for some executes. Like, we have safe executes, we have less safe executes. You know, a safe execute like onto B site would be something like this, because the flash kind of pushes the enemies, you know, back from these positions. We can just clear this, jump spot the back side, and in this spot you're fairly safe. You know, then you can just hold this and this together with your allies, fight with them, and that's it. On A side, for an example, you know, when you reach the elbow area of the map. You know? Right here. You have plenty of shit that you can do. One thing that you can do always is sending the teleport at the backside and combining that teleport with a flash up here and then teleporting here. If you have the smoke for the CT. Why is this good? Because, you know, like, you have this cover, this pop flash right here, flashes the enemies, you know, A short, and at the backside as well. You can also do some higher flash, like that, up here. That flash catches the enemies at the backside, catches the enemies at the A short, catches the enemies right here that are fighting your teammates. And, I mean, yes, enemies from the CT can peek you, but you can send a clone, you know, set a teleport, do the pop flash, and get out with a flash. And then, you know, we can try to take the bomb site control, like we can flash above the enemies here, and take the site together with our allies. For an example, this execute here is also fairly safe. You know, when you reach the elbow, you send a teleport in that corner, then we use the fake out either for CT or for the bomb site. So the fake out should go like this or like this. And then, once again, we just use the pop flash up here. Bam, we can teleport, do another flash onto this guy, kill this dude, and then take the full side control for the team. Then, another execute that we have, we can do a teleport there. You know? And we can send the fake out towards the enemy here. Once again, we can do that flash, or we can do a different type of flash. Like basically we can just do this, jiggle pick this guy, and send a flash in his ass, and then teleport. That's also fine. But it's a bit better idea, you know, with Yoru if you're doing this pop flashes through the smoke, like flashes where you hide the trail, like that flash is good. Then this flash here is also really fucking good. This flash here is one of the best to flash the enemies that are backside, like there's no escaping that flash. And then after that flash and fake out, we can teleport inside of this corner, kill this dude, and then focus on A short and everything else. Another thing that you can do with Yoru, and that you should be doing from time to time, is using a fake teleport flash combo. So basically, like, you know, you send this type of a teleport, and then you do this clone. You do the clone first, do the flash, and as the flash is bouncing from that angle, before the flash even bounces from that angle, before the enemies see the flash, you use the teleport. And then enemies are gonna think that's you, and they're gonna be looking at the flash, and this is what they're gonna see. Destroyed. So, we put the clone, put the teleport, do the fake out, do the flash, but as soon as you drop the flash from the like you know, from the hand, instantly activate the teleport, so that enemy gets flashed. So yeah, I mean, how did I start speaking about this? Like literally, like we just we just played the first round. Now in this here post-play, like, you know, always value your life in ranked solo queue. You know, here he doesn't need to peek anything. Enemies cannot be behind us. We have a camera and trip. Enemies can only be market and CT. I mean, if you already have a teammate that is playing here, in this one and done angle, and you're playing in the middle of the site, use the shit out of that teammate, bait the living crap out of him. Once that teammate takes a fight right here, you peek out, and you fight the enemies. Like, you need to use these opportunities and notice them within your gameplay. Every single opportunity where you can bait one of your allies to play a perfect refrag game, you should use it. Because most of the times, your teammates will not be able to notice those opportunities themselves. And God forbid if you die here in some kind of a stupid 50-50 gunfight, that is gonna be terrible.
One enemy remaining.
That's gonna be terrible. Lack of map awareness. The guy is in the CT. We knew that, no? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, she was CT. Okay, we won this round, like, whatever.
We can go
Now,
into it.
you know, generally speaking, like, on a sunset, it really doesn't matter. You know? It really doesn't matter if you push A site or B site when enemies are econ hull by. As long as you don't touch mid area of the map. When enemies are econ hull by, we're good. Like in this round, 5-man A or 5-man B. And we win this round. And God forbid, whenever you win the first round in Valorant, second round is always a full force buy. You're not playing Ghost, you're not playing Sheriff, you're not playing Classic Pistol. You play Stinger, Heavy Shield, Shorty utility. Stinger, Heavy Shield, Ghost utility. Bulldog, Heavy Shield utility. Heavy Shield, Judge utility on some close range maps like on the attacker side. Heavy Shield Guardian on Breeze. I don't know. Ghost, Heavy Shield utility. In a 4-9 match. In a second anti-eco round. While splitting mid. God help us right now. Like all of the things that you should not do,
But wait.
we're checking them right now. Okay, we bought a Stinger. Sorry, I went 2 steps ahead, but still we are fucking splitting mid.
Nobody crossed.
Listen, please, like, don't be mad. Like, don't be mad because you're bad. You know, I'm also sometimes mad because I'm bad. But listen, if you want to jump spot the angles, like always run in front of your allies and come closer to the wall and do this. Don't allow your teammates to have a gap in front of you and do this type of a shit. You know? Because then you might bug each other's out. Anyways, if your teammates are just pressing the W key, you know? Use them as a recon tool. They are the drone for you. If your Gecko is already doing this, he is the drone and let him, like, you know, let him run.
Good keep long.
We should have checked the backside here. Like, this is crazy, man. Like, we entered the B side, and we didn't check the backside. Hello? Like, we're planting the spike, entering the site. Before we start planting the spike, we need to check this angle and the backside. Like, these 2 positions should be cleared. This spot, this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot, this, and this. And then we focus on playing the refrag game with our allies and better positioning. But Neon is at the Boba. In Boba, Neon is in the CT from the market. We don't know if one enemy is backside. We have 0 info about it. God. Okay, we were lucky this time.
2 bubble. Not 3. I can't be asked, man.
And you need to pay a bit more attention how you position these post plants. Like already I can see that post plant positioning for you is gonna be terrible. Like in the first round, like we are 4 versus 2. We have the full B-man control, and you're holding this angle. Are you crazy? 4 versus 2. 2 teammates are watching CT. Cypher is here, and you're isolating 1 versus 1 fight. Play here. Wait for the Cypher to take the first contact, swing out, kill an enemy. Wait for your teammates in CT to take a contact, swing out, take a kill. In this round here, out of all of the positions, you decided to play a one and done angle together with a Neon here. Like, your main mindset on Sunset, at least now, you know, with this map design, should be that 90% of your post plants on the site, you should play at the stairs. Because on the stairs, you're really safe. Like, you're able to refrag your teammates pushing CT, refrag your teammates pushing market, support your teammates with utility in the B main, market, CT, everywhere. Like, this is your main post plant position on Sunset. Everything else you play, if you're overstacking this, like if you have 2 teammates here then you need to play something else.
No, three.
I can't be asked, man. Expect.
Unnecessary death. Now listen, on Sunset, really the best pattern of pushing is pushing the same side 3 rounds in a row. It is far more unpredictable, because it allows us to easily win the 4th round. You know, this bonus round, who the fuck cares how this bonus round is gonna go? You know? It's a bonus round anyways, like, even if we lose it, but we have higher chance of winning the 4th round, that's good shit, you know? Like, in this 3rd round, like, why I like pushing same side 3 rounds in a row on Sunset is because we apply enormous amount of mental pressure onto the enemies on the opposite part of the map. Like, after that 3rd round, God forbid, you win that 3rd round, enemy's mentality is shit. Cypher, bro! How the fuck? You imbecile! How are you not able to defend the B side? You Turkish dog! You French baguette! You know, all of the standard European comps start happening if the Cypher loses the B side 3 rounds in a row. Even if they win that 3rd round, faking B side in the 4th round is going to be easier, because we applied enormous amount of mental pressure onto the enemies. But okay, we can go A here or whatever, like. Okay, standard teleport there.
One more.
Listen, whenever you're pushing A site for the first time, I recommend you, except in the first round, I recommend you to do this type of a play. Send the fake out towards the enemies, you know, left or right. Prepare it down on the ground. Send the teleport towards the elbow, do the fake out, and bounce the flash from these, how do you say this, like these windows right here. So the flash, let me show you the perfect one. So basically, put the fake out underneath you. As soon as the round starts, do the fake out, send the teleport, and bounce the flash here. Teleport with the flash, and that's it. Most of the times, enemies are gonna shoot this fake out from A short. This guy in the elbow is gonna be completely blinded by this flash, and you take A short and elbow for free from the enemy team. And then we still have one teleport and a flash to execute the bomb site. Whenever you're pushing for the first time with full utility, A site, always do this. And then, you know, later on during the match, like, ask yourself, like, how are the enemies fighting for the aim area of the map? What do you need to waste your fake out? Do you need to waste your flash, like, for this? Like, you know, it really depends how aggressively enemies are fighting for aim area of the map. And when you're bouncing this flash here, usually I bounce it, like, from this second window. You know, this is the first one, this is the second. But you can bounce it from the first one as well. It really doesn't make that much of a difference.
Why is no one coming over? The side's loose on the right, one cat. Sky backside. Oh, why is no one coming over?
Now listen, whenever you're peeking the elbow first, so you're the first contact in the elbow, always jump spot the enemies first and then take a fight. Take the information for your crosshair placement. Try to see if Charlatan is maybe holding a tight pixel angle here. Try to see if Charlatan is holding this angle like this. Reveal me. You know, fuck me up. Jump spot this. Now you see that I'm there. Bam. Peeker's advantage, perfect crosshair placement. Get me out of the fucking server. Don't just swing these angles or... fuck the jiggle peek as well. If you're not playing slow, fuck the jiggle peek. Just jump spot me. I'm not gonna kill you. You take a kill. If you see me and you don't want to take a fight, pixel flash, fuck me up again. You know. That flash there, like, was... I mean, it's okay. To be honest, like... The problem is, like, you had allies that are fighting that teammate, and that flash was a bit unnecessary. Like, one flash that you can do for this guy right here is the flash right there. Like, I never see players doing this type of a flash, and I don't know why. Like, it's really fucking good. Like, basically you bounce the flash here, and the flash ends up, like, at that area of the map. And you can fairly flash that fucking idiot, like, playing that angle. You can also bounce that flash all the way from the how do you call that, like ceiling up there, and it can give you the same result. What if a charlatan is playing judge in the corner, but then you are, I mean, recon abilities, I don't know, like put a fake out first, like if you have a fake out. Bait your teammates. Bait your team. Let your teammates be dumb. Be dumb. Tell your teammates like push first. Push first. And then once they clear this, we move in. I don't know, this flash here was a bit unnecessary and kinda dangerous. Because like his Gecko was already using the ultimate, he could have flashed his teammates, like, I don't know. It's okay, I guess, like, whatever.
Jet,
We have the Gecko
Sky-
ultimate anyways.
Wait, let me reload.
Throw the smoke. It's fucking rigged this game.
Enemy remaining.
Where is he?
I have a trash. Just spot this guy. Hold on.
Do you know how to play this agent? I actually did Yoru to Radiant series when Yoru first came out. And I got Radiant with Yoru. So, actually it was a smurfing series from Iron to Radiant, so like... As every series in 2020, 21 and 22. We're not doing the smurfing anymore. Also this year... Actually last year, we went from unranked to Immortal with Yoru, with like 80% win rate, or something like that.
I got him. I have.
This agent is more about... This agent is more like about improvisation than anything else. Like you should have like maybe 10 standard setups. 10 standard setups. And everything else is just improvisation. Based on in what type of scenario you end up.
Throw the smoke.
Wait, let me reload.
Throw the smoke.
This flash here, like, I mean, it's okay. But really, one of the best flashes that you can do is the flash up here. Like, if you already see this angle, and one enemy is at the backside, do this flash. And then you can peek together with a flash. Like, this guy needs to be hiding all the way here in order to not be flashed. But the flash is gonna give you enough space to actually move into the site and start closing the gap. Like, it's one of the best shits you can do when you're executing the A set of
Smoke. It's fucking
Sunset.
rigged this game.
Enemy remaining.
Where is he?
Now we're 3v1. Listen, like, when you're playing the post on Sunset, or as you're planting the spike, make sure that you never have two players there. Like, two is already, you know, a gangbang in that area of the map. Like, one is more than enough. If you're stuck there with your teammate, try to reposition, like, you're gonna get fucked by the enemy's utility, enemies, like, everything, essentially. Seems like you're making this up on the go. No, I just forgot, like, the problem is, like, I coach on so many agents, and I play so many fucking characters, I cannot remember the lineups and everything. Anyways, like, I need to do a ranked playbook for Yoru, and I have prepared, like, I think the document has around, like, 50 gigabytes of Yoru lineups, flashes, pop flashes, teleports, and fucking executes on 11 maps in Valorant. And we're gonna start with that once I finish tier 3 sub-VOD reviews. It needs to be done this year,
Trash. Just spot this guy. Hold on.
because on January we need to start with the 6th agent.
Sure.
Go back with your ult. Pick it up again.
Okay, I mean,
Jet, hit.
good round. What can I say? I mean, generally speaking, I guess this team composition, pushing B set is so much easier. Literally, like they have nothing to stop you. Yes, they have a, you know, claw medal. They have the sky flash, but all of that can be baited, dodged, like, I don't know. As long as the Cypher is playing B, and we are fighting easy time pushing A side, just run it down. I think maybe Yoru is uncoachable. You either go for it or you don't. This guy should just give up. No. But, I mean, like, with that mentality, like, then no one should play Omen. With that mentality, Omen is same as Yoru. Omen is same as Yoru. Like, literally. With Omen, you need a very high levels of adaptiveness, improvisation. Like, yes, there are some things set in stone and some executes that are more straightforward, but it is very important how you think at the moment of time. Like, you have like 1 or 2 or 3 seconds to react. With Yoru, you should also have, like, as I said, at least 10 to maybe 15 plays that are set in stone. Executes, retakes, and post plans. And flashes that you do to support yourself and your allies. And those things are calculated, you know? With Yoru, like, what is the problem is that there's not a single play that is 100% safe. With Omen, you know, there are some plays that are actually 100% safe. With Yoru, everything is like, enemies maybe saw that teleport, enemies maybe are not gonna get flashed, like, I don't fucking know, like. You know, you need to be really good at reading the enemies and reading the game. That's why, like, I generally would never recommend anyone to main Yoru below Ascendant 1. It's just pointless. Especially because, you know, outplaying this player... Good idea. Good idea. I mean, you can do that flash. Also, like, when your teammates are pushing the aim and area of the map. I will just argue that a bit better idea. If you want to support your teammates with a flash, when they're pushing, you know, in front of you, it's a bit better if you do a flash right here. Because this flash is also gonna flash the enemies that are peeking from elbow. Depending how they're holding that angle and, you know, like, I don't know. Like, this is a bit better than this if you want to support your teammates push. But we also have the camera. We should have the camera for A short. Like, I mean, did we have the camera? Yes, we had. Okay, that's good. That's good. But still, we can use that flash to support our teammates and flash the enemies in the elbow and A short as well.
What is this
Okay.
shit doing?
In the corner, in the corner.
Shotgun check.
Okay. 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 I mean, if you knew the guy is playing a shorty there, you didn't need to rush that much. If you didn't know that, then okay. I mean, we needed to support our teammates and actually play with them. What was this teleport like?
That eco. What is this?
I mean, in this round, you wasted a fake out. And you put the teleport... I don't know what happened. But probably a misclick, to be honest. Like, there was no reason for him to put the teleport there. That is 100% misclick. I think he wanted to use a fake out to push that sky that flashed us.
Shotgun check.
Okay, this should be an easy post play. Very good that we reset that teleport was terrible. Listen, like, especially when you're low HP, don't spam through the smokes. Don't try to fight these miracle fights. Like, you're just gonna die. And don't stand behind the smokes in areas of the map where enemies usually spam them. Like, you know, this is something that I will pre-fire a bit, like, just to clear the smoke.
Oh, the Cypher saw it. What? 60 Cypher. On side. Left side.
And to be honest, like, if you use the fake teleport here, you know, in this scenario, Gecko should be the one playing first. Because enemies definitely heard that teleport from the site. And then they're not gonna expect you A short. Like, that teleport doesn't make any sense, like, if you're gonna show yourself first.
He's on site, he's on site.
You just play safe, we don't need to fight, we don't need to fight.
Just, yeah.
Okay.
5 of them or 50 of them.
Okay.
Oh, need
Let me jump for this.
Now, on any map in Valorant, when you hit same bomb site 3 rounds in a row, even in the middle of the match, 4th round, fake that site and go B. Always. I mean, go in the opposite direction.
Nobody crossed Yoru.
I don't know why you're doing this jump spotting so far off from the wall. It's better if you do it from the wall because you're a bit faster and you can just, you know, go in and out fast. This is not how you path through the B main area of the map. Like, basically, just try to avoid, you know, these stupid fights where enemies can kill you from some kind of an off angle with the operator or some shit like that. You know, I could have played here with the op or something, killed you. I can play with a chamber jet, like whatever. This off angle, I kill you. Like, I can be holding this angle, I get you off the map. Like, if you're already running first and you know that no one is here, you just jiggle pick this corner, jump spot the enemies here, and now get ready to go out. You don't need to do this, where you're exposed from, you know, 3-4 different peaks that enemies can do to fuck you up. And also, once again, in this round, I think enemies are like... Actually, enemies are playing a full buy round, sorry. Okay, we can maybe try the split through mid.
Oh, why is it shit? One thing, stop one thing.
Okay. Just... I don't know how good is that flash that you did. You know, like, this flash needs to be much deeper. If you're, like, teleporting all the way back into the CT. I mean, if you want to teleport there, most of the times it's a bit better if you just flash the right side. If you already know that no one is playing that angle. What you can also do is, like, you can just bounce the flash from that angle there to flash the enemies at the back side. But I mean, probably his flash was okay. We should have checked the angle behind us. I don't know how we knew that no one is there. Good teleport to go back from this fucked up position. We should teleport away. I would never stay in this spot. Ever in my life. Get out of here, even though you have a teammate there. You can get meddled. You can get, like, fucked by the enemy's utility, like, double peaked, like, I don't know. A lot of bad shit can happen. Go into the B main, tell the Gecko to go back into the site. I mean, Gecko can play off the trip bar here. And even alone, it's fine. Okay. But now we need to play with allies. Like, you know? Enemies cannot go B main. After you did that teleport, why are you still in the B main? We need to support our teammates. And now we get a better angle to fight. Like, for example, the perfect angle in this scenario would have been something like this. Where basically, you can play on the Cypher's contact from the site to kill the enemies in the market. And on the Gecko's contact to potentially kill the enemies in the CT as well. But staying hidden in the B main while your teammates are dying on site, like, just, I mean, we are isolating a lot of individual fights.
MS 120.
Fake, trust me. Real.
Hide. Very good. It's okay. Very good.
I flashed it.
Now listen, whenever you have a Yoru ultimate, 5-man push, buy the shorty, buy some Vandal, Phantom, Heavy Shield, kill the enemies. Reveal them, flash them, fake out them, easy kills for you.
So they can't.
No, I mean, okay, we can do this flash, but anyways, you're using the ultimate immediately. Okay, one guy is short. Good teleport there, so we can rotate into elbow. Very good blockage. So, I don't know, man. I think you could have gotten a kill on that Reyna, like, if you just played a bit better. But honestly, like, I don't know how your teammates, like how they didn't kill this Reyna, to be honest. Like, I mean, you were exactly on the Reyna's body. Hey, no one is on site, like, your teammates are in. No one is elbow, like, what are we clearing, bro? Map awareness, 0 points, bro. You know, even though this VOD that you submitted is kind of shit for a review, like, it definitely showcases some of your weaknesses, like, that you mentioned in the post, and generally that you have within your gameplay. Like, map awareness, overall game awareness, overall team play, like, some parts of your mechanical skill. So we're gonna fix that with some kind of a training.
One CT, one mid.
Another.
Now, when it comes to Yoru, I really don't know, like, if I can recommend you to play Yoru. You have only 20 hours on this agent. You know, like, submitting a VOD on the character on which you have only 20 hours, not really the best idea, but you kind of understand what you need to learn with this character. Like, you need to have, like, a few things that are set in stone. On defender side is rotational teleports, like, and I don't know, like, we can communicate to private messages, and I can explain to you, like, anything that you want, like, as long as you're tier 3 sub.
One enemy remaining.
At least he is doing something that I'm never doing in my life. Using a, you know, teleport to escape, like when he's using the ultimate. Like, I don't know, I always forget about that, man. I play this agent for 300 hours, like, even this, up to this date, I forget to use my fucking TP in the
Skin line. Don't like the skin line.
ultimate.
Phantom.
And
Yeah,
this one.
I flash him after as well.
This flash here is really good, like, if you know, basically, flash here, if the enemies are contesting your teammates a lot in the aim and area of the map. Because, like, this literally completely flashes the enemies going through A short, and also the enemies that are peeking fast in the elbow. In this flash, you should always delay for around 1.5 seconds, so that enemies here are fully blinded, and enemies
I won't camp
in
this
elbow are
instant
also
because he
blinded.
instantly fights it.
Wait for me, I'm just gonna dictate this.
Listen, whenever you want to do some kind of a setup like this, you know, where you need to throw fast, like fake out, teleport, flash, put the fake out on the ground, if you can do that. Like here, if you want to do, I don't know, this flash with that teleport and the fake out, put the fake out on the ground, and then do the fake out first, do the teleport, and then bounce the flash, and then move in. So that you're not, like, you know, so that you have the timing to teleport and flash in the same time, and fake out is actually doing its job of getting the first contact, initial duel, and distracting the enemies. Because this here looked mega scuffed, like, you know, like, my duel was like, should I flash first, should I fake out, then, okay, let's fake out first, like, and we're losing the timing on that. Where the fuck is the teleport? It doesn't exist, like. Now listen, whenever you're pushing the A side of sunset, always make your main priority taking the elbow control. Like 90% of your executes should be from the elbow. Elbow control is far more important than A shore control when you're on the attacker side, on the defender side as well. It's easier to execute a site, it's easier to fuck up the enemies, it's easier to move in. Sometimes you don't even need the A short. Just smoke this, tell your teammate to smoke that, take the side, plant the spike, play some passive pulsing from the elbow. If you're playing some eco and half by round, for an example. Let your idiot teammates go through A short. Like, there's always gonna be someone, like, you know, that likes to go there.
One CT Cypher.
Here we need to clear the... I mean, okay, Cypher is there. Jet is CT.
Oh, this timing is insane.
One enemy remaining.
Chat is flanked with Vandal. This timing is insane.
Once again, same mistakes you made on a defender side as well. Bro, you're 2 versus 1. Just play with your Gecko, man. You have a flash, you have a fake teleport. Like, actually, you don't need any utility here. As long as we play a proper refrag game, this Jet is dead. Now we are isolating 1v1 fights everywhere.
Flank, Gecko.
I know.
It was good, but you know, you're just risking it for no reason. Like that Jet can be some kind of a smurf, some kind of a demon. Like, be ready for all of this shit. Like, you never know. But as long as you play together with your Gecko, that also has the ultimate and utility that he picked up, this is an easy round. Like, we play in the CT, one guy holds one angle. I mean, we could have played in the elbow, to be honest, this whole post plan.
Alright, we.
I can go mid.
Or just mimic what he does.
Okay.
Let me dump you.
I don't know, like, whenever you notice that enemies are faking, well, sorry, not faking, like, whenever enemies are rotating this fast on a defender's side, you should be faking more, especially with Yoru. You know, tell your claw to give you a smoke on A short. Tell the gecko to use all of his utility on A site. Drop a few flash, you know, one flash, one fake out. Take aiming control and then teleport back B. And trust me, like, at least 4 enemies are gonna already be around the top mid and A site.
Watch out.
Come, close and near, come.
Let me jump in.
Like, these are the type of things, and these are the type of notes that you should take about the enemies, either mentally or physically. Like, what they're doing on a macro and micro level. You know? On a macro level, they're only having one playstyle. They're just doing fast rotations, and occasionally they have one teammate that is pushing the main area of the map alone. Behind you. And that's it. On a micro level, Cypher is playing B with some... I don't know what type of a setup. On A side, we can find, like, Jet, we can find the Claw of Sky and Reyna, depending who decides to play there, but all 4 of these agents, they need to be mechanically good in order to stop the push of these agents right here. We have 3 flashes, we have 2 stuns, we have a fake out, 2 teleports, slide, wall, Cypher camera, medal from too much utility. Like, these 4 characters, they just cannot stop the push effectively onto the A side. Same problems that we discussed in the previous rounds, like, and also this is another thing that you should be aware of, like, a lot of the times you're pulling out your utility while you're fully exposed, either inside of the smokes, behind the smokes, or in the choke point where you don't have a smoke at all. Like, try to avoid this. Try to fix this problem. Like, only pull your... Like, basically, so, if I want to do this execute, just a second. So, I want to teleport there, let's say, and use the fake out here. Like, I'm gonna pull out the fake out, do a jiggle throw. Then I'm gonna jiggle throw this, and then from this position just jiggle throw the flash, and then move in. I'm not spending so much time in the choke point, unless I need to do that, unless I need to do some kind of a pop flash to the smoke and actually go out. With any agent that I play, you will see that I very rarely, almost never, die inside of the smokes or behind the smokes, because I'm not playing there. I'm trying to spend the minimal amount of time inside of these type of positions, being exposed from some kind of a spam and dying by some lucky shot during the retakes, post plants, and during the executes.
One on my ping.
But as I said, like, in this round, faking A would have been amazing, man. Plus the Cypher actually put the whole setup on A site. Like, hitting B would have been so fucking easy.
Neon chill. Neon chill, don't peek mid.
And I don't know what is this fetish when it comes to, like, playing the mid, man. If enemies don't have a response to your 5-man executes, you should just be pushing together as 5 and faking. And that's it. You don't need to touch mid area of the map. Like, mid area of the map only touch if the 5-man playstyle is not working for you. And the fakes are not working. That's like a last resort.
What do you see? You got nothing on the cam?
Very good, now we're faking actually.
I didn't.
Just that teleport that you positioned there, you know, it's way too close to the market and mid and B side. Enemies might hear it, you know, like, if you're doing this rotational teleport, like just 10 seconds or like, I don't know, 7 seconds before the round starts, put the TP here, and then do the fake on the A side. Like, you know, we can send a clone, we can send the flash, push with the clone and flash, take this space, take the elbow, jump spot the enemies here, maybe flash the enemies again, and then TP away here.
What do you see? You got nothing on the cam?
Yo, Will Raven, what's
I
you, man?
didn't activate it. They know if I
Cross.
activated.
So, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, he was.
Listen, when you're faking, you need to be more believable. Like, the reason why I'm never the one that is faking is because it's very important what these idiots are doing with the spike. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as we pressure the enemies and we take the first contact. But what Cypher and Gecko do is very important. Like how fast they're taking the space. Like you should be the one controlling the pacing on the opposite part of the map, if possible. You know? I know with Yoru it's very good to do the fakes yourself, but you need to emphasize on these guys. Like, when should these guys start moving onto the B side? Number one, when they hear that enemies are rotating from B, or they're taking the orb here, they should move in, kill that guy, and slowly take the space. Number two, if one of us dies in A main, or we take a kill on A side, these guys should start moving in. And number three, if we are already on the site, on the opposite part of the map, these guys should start moving in through that choke point. But not before that. Like, I mean, here, we didn't get a single contact with the enemies on A side. We didn't fight them aggressively enough. And they started already moving through the B main area of the map.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, we gotta play it safe. We're not gonna win if we win.
Reyna's mid, top mid. Right, I'll smoke you top mid, we go mid.
Oh, there's one market. Oh, you jumped.
No, just gonna walk up and go.
No, push market. Cypher.
You wanna go?
Solid flash there.
Watch out main, watch out main.
Now, one very important rule in Valorant. Whenever you're pushing a bomb site, only through the short area of that map. In this case scenario, market is short. Your main priority should be clearing the main area of that map before your teammates start dying. In this example here, we should be moving towards our Gecko and clearing the B-man with him, and then clearing the backside together with our Gecko. And with a Neon.
Stay post one. Go, go, go. You guys are good.
Really try to prioritize your pushes through the elbow, like executes are much easier, you know? Less complicated, like, I don't know, from A short with Yoru, you don't have that many options, you know? From A short, the only thing you can do a teleport in that corner, combine it with a fake out, and then from this position, right here, you can flash the enemies and teleport. That flash there is not bad, because it actually bounces from this shit, and it's gonna flash all of the enemies that are on the bomb site. It's very good if you have some kind of a lineup for this. I just using it based on my feeling, essentially. And then you teleport into that corner, and from that corner, we can basically, I mean, be assuming you have a smoke here. Obviously, you need to have that smoke. And then from this corner, like, we can just do some kind of a pixel flash move in, or bounce the flash like behind us and enter the site with our team. Not that many things you can do, essentially. Like, we have this teleport, which we combine with some kind of a pop flash, and we move in and take the space slowly. I'm just giving you ideas here. And you have the teleport for the actual bomb site, middle of the site. You do a TP basically here on this corner, and it's gonna end up in that position. And while the teleport is there, once again, you can bounce your flash from this spot right here. That flash is gonna flash the enemies, all of the enemies on the bomb site. And essentially, like, you just teleport in. And then maybe you can send a clone towards the enemy that is backside, like, move in, kill that dude, deal with him, and that's it.
Okay. One out, hold door. I think Cypher 5v3, you just play right side CT, right side.
I mean, I can see why you like playing like Reyna and Iso, man, like and those type of agents. Like, you really like to fight without your utility, you know, like basically. But I think that in a long run, mastering agents such as Jett, Yoru, Omen would be really beneficial for you, just to expand yourself as a player a bit more. Because at a certain moment of time, mechanical skill, even though it matters, you will find that there's probably at least like 50% of players that aim better than you. And at some moment of time, like all of those mechanics stop to matter completely because everyone is on the same level. If you're, let's say, in top 0.01%, and it's really hard to mechanically carry the matches in Valorant.
5v3, you just play.
And you definitely need to start respecting your life a bit more, man. Like, you have only one life, you know, live it to your fullest. and start baiting your teammates a bit more. Not really, not baiting them for nothing, just training them. You took 2 kills on the site. We're 5v3 in the postman. Your job is done. You already sweated enough, like you took 2 kills, like made a numbers advantage, but fuck. Guys, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm baiting you, trading you, playing a refrag with you. Because if you die right now, trust me, I mean, in any elo in Valorant, this is more than losable round for your teammates. More than losable.
I'm gonna flash sight from the top, okay? Flash over the top instead of flashing
I mean, you know, like, if you're already pushing A short, I don't know what to say here, literally. Like, you should have, like, checked left side.
Side full clear, yeah? Side full clear.
One side. I'll smoke.
Here.
One more,
Here.
I know exactly where.
It's okay. I mean, like,
Here. One more. Here.
I know exactly where.
this was totally fine. Like, to be honest, like, personally, I wouldn't expect that Reyna there. Like, we killed the Jett in the elbow. Sky and Claw were A short. Like, there's no fucking way I would expect the Reyna there. And because, like, in this example, I would only expect the Claw to be in A short. And how I would think in this scenario is, like, we're sending the clone to potentially F up the enemies that are rotating from B side and from top mid. And this Claw, you know, she's not gonna have a single idea that we are actually CT and not pushing top mid. So, like, this was a solid play, to be honest, like, not bad.
I know exactly where.
Like, there's no way I would expect that guy as well. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, literally, there's no way. Like, they played 4 people on A side in that round. Actually, no, what 4? There's a Cypher there as well. They stacked the A side, actually. You know, when this type of shit happens, well play enemies, I'm gonna expect that in the future rounds.
I'll start off.
Overall, really bad. Like, you know, like, especially on the defender side, you need to figure out something better on Yoru. Like, replicate the setups that we talked about. Start using more of your, you know, these better rotational teleports to support your allies. Start aggressing the enemies a bit more in the main areas of the map with different setups. This attack was okay. Like, it could have been worse compared to what we saw on a defender side. Like, it could have been much worse, essentially. Since you only have like 15-20 hours on Yoru, why not? Give Yoru a try, like, basically to master Yoru. And it's same as you're mastering the Omen as well. Like, both Yoru and Omen require like 300 to 500 hours in order to call these 2 agents your main characters. Like, you need to go through a lot of scenarios, like, figure out a lot of different setups. Like, it is not that simple as, I don't know, playing Jett. Like, you have a smoke dash here, do that. You want to abuse this off angle, okay, go up there, that's it. You're playing Reyna, use leader here, pick this, do that play, hold this angle, that's it. So you can give it a try, why not? But if you want to give Yoru a try, like, you will have to follow the training that I'm gonna share with you after this VOD review. Like, literally to the core. Exactly how many hours you should do this, do that, where you should learn, from which examples you should learn. Like, I'm gonna dictate you everything. In private messages, of course. Like, and we're gonna see what type of results that's gonna have. If after 50 or 60 hours, Yoru is not clicking with you, then move on to something more simple. Like, I mean, you made Reyna as one of your primary characters, like, run it down with Jet. Raze. You know, those are very simple agents with very set in stone type of positioning and executes. They don't require a lot of adaptiveness. Maybe that's gonna suit you well. Omen is always one of the top picks. Gecko as well. Gecko is very versatile, very good on some maps in Valorant. We'll see. We'll see what happens for you. Okay, we're gonna continue our chat in private messages after this. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Actually hit the subscribe button. Leave some kind of a commento. Join my Discord server for coaching. Also there you can get a ranked playbook where I covered like Omen and Jet for now. Like Yoru playbook is in the making, and Raze and Chamber, and we need to make like 25 agents. You can enter the giveaways for coaching, Valorant points, community custom events, different stuff. Follow me on Twitch. We stream, I would like to say every business day, but it's not really every business day. It's more like 4 days these days, because I have like 3 coaching sessions every Wednesday, Sunday, and Saturday. But that's gonna change. From January, we're streaming every fucking day. Not every, but from Monday to Friday. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.